Good evening and welcome to Ben Davis High School, where tonight it's the regular season finale as you get the coverage of North Central High School football here on the IHSAA Sports Network. And tonight, the Panthers taking on the Giants of Ben Davis. Tonight's game brought to you by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants, the Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. The Indy Card Exchange, make money off your collection. Find out how at indycardexchange.com. LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. Joined alongside the coach, Joe Polizzi. My name is Rick Johnson. And, Coach, everybody trying to get some momentum heading in to the state tournament. These two teams in 6A, they'll have next week off, so even more important to get to end the regular season tonight with a victory.
Exactly. Thanks, Rick. And you hit the nail on the head. It's all about two teams that have not really accomplished what they were planning, probably coming into the season, but an opportunity to get things cleared. Get a clean slate and get some momentum going into that next level of football.
Second straight road game here for North Central. Last week on the road at Pike, they fell 46-28. They were down just 6 at halftime, Coach, 27-21. But the real turning point was getting shut out 19-0 in that third quarter, and it was more self-inflicted wounds that was the doing in of NC last week.
Absolutely. They really started out that football game like the week before, and it looked like it was going to be a battle all the way. You saw clear progress from a team that's trying to build, get their everything lined up and playing straight. But you're right, there was some faltering in that third quarter, whether it be blunders in the kicking game or penalties. There were a number of penalties, and just kind of fizzled out. Not to mention that Pike was a pretty physical football team. So it'll be very interesting to see how the lessons learned from last week will carry over to this game. And I know both teams are thinking we got to play great football going into that tournament.
For Ben Davis, they're led by third-year head coach Russ Mann. They had a narrow 31-30 victory over Lawrence Central last week. A field goal late gives them the difference. And, Coach, they were playing without 14 players last week, including 11 starters. They have had a ton of guys dress up in the purple and white this year for BD.
That is amazing that they played that well against a pretty good football team with missing all those people. It's a solid program. I think this is a fluke of a year that they're off to, and I think they're going to try to get things corrected. But they have been just a pillar of high school football in this state for a long, long time.
The Giants making their way onto the field here at home. 10 state champions. 10 state championships, I should say, for Ben Davis. They do get their freshman starting quarterback, Gabe Kinnett, back after missing last week with an injury. The two guys that manned the controls last week for the Ben Davis offense not playing tonight due to injury. So Kinnett, a welcome sight back for those wearing the purple and black tonight. We'll take a break and come back with kickoff between North Central and Ben Davis as you're watching high school football here on the IHSAA Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3, train it!
Back here at Ben Davis as the Giants wearing their black uniforms tonight here in the regular season finale. As we mentioned off the top, both these teams in 6A, along with everybody in Class 5A, have the first week of sectionals next week off. They'll jump right into the semis in 2 weeks' time. Everybody else gets things going next week. Coach, this is a really exciting time. You know, everybody makes the state tournament. So for North Central and Ben Davis with matching 2-6 records, a win tonight, some momentum into 2 weeks from now, you can build some things here as the month turns to October.
You're right, exactly that. And it's just a whole new season, a whole new outlook. But the key is to get things cleaned up and play good football going into that tournament so that they have 2 weeks to prepare, to get healthy, to really study the film and make those corrections and come in strong for that first week of the tournament.
We mentioned Gabe Kinnett got hurt in the second to last play of the game against Carmel a couple of weeks back, did not play against Lawrence Central last week. Coach, you mentioned North Central, very good at fast starts. Is that doubly important with a freshman starting quarterback who's just playing 8th grade football a year ago, coming back after 2 weeks off?
Absolutely. To duplicate what we've seen the last couple weeks from North Central, to come out smoking and playing good football in the first half is a huge key for tonight's game. Come out with some momentum and then show the maturity to maintain it for the entire game.
See the captains there at midfield meeting with a couple members of our officiating staff here tonight. Jaden Wakefield, one of those two captains you can see on the right side for North Central. Were you a heads or tails guy, Coach, when you were at UIndy? Or did you have your guys just kind of pick randomly?
It was a heads all the time.
All the time?
Got to take heads.
So you did not follow the tails never fails mantra that has become popular in a handful of recent years?
Tails were not, it was not something that interested us at all at that time. Keep the heads up.
I like that. That might be better than tails never fails. Keep the heads up.
That's heads up.
That's a little. I like that a little bit better than tails never fails.
Ready to go.
And so Ben Davis has won the toss, and they have deferred.
The Giants won the toss and deferred.
So that means we get to see North Central first. Under the direction of first-year head coach Colin Kofer. They're trying to find their first road victory of the year, and they're trying to march down and get some points here to start things off on drive number 1.
They certainly do, and I think it's so important in the state of this program right now to play clean football, eliminate mishaps that have just been burdening them the whole season. They can play good football. We've seen flashes of very good football. I'm sure it's on course with what Coach Kofer wanted to see, but then they'll go through a lull where it's like, come on, guys. So tonight, I think the goal that I would like to see is just good, clean, hard-nosed, fundamental, great football for the whole 4 quarters.
You'll see pink donning things here at Ben Davis High School tonight. I don't think that's a scheduled flyover, Coach. I think that's just being on the west side of town and the airport being by, but still nonetheless,
okay, we'll
cool
use
to kind of have a flyover.
We'll use it.
We see the dots of pink around the stadium tonight. Ben Davis honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month and also honoring breast cancer survivors before tonight's game. So that's why you see a little bit of pink here and there amongst the black and the purple tonight for Ben Davis. Brian Garcia Diaz is the 5'7" kicker for BD. He had the game-winning field goal last week to propel the Giants by 1 point over the Bears of Lawrence Central, as North Central tries to get a hot start here against the Giants of Ben Davis.
They have shown the ability to have a plethora of very, very talented returners, maybe 6 deep with kids that can really go the distance. And I would love to see them dominate the kicking game in this particular game, because that has been a sore spot for the last several games. But get started quickly by executing on this kicking game.
Antonio Woodson, 10 in white. Jared Harrison is 20 in white back there for North Central. Jared has not attempted a kickoff return yet. And Ben Davis goes to the pooch kick here early. Someone's got to fall on it for North Central, and it is chaos between the 35 and 40-yard line. And, Coach, it looks like someone for North Central was able to fall on that, but a crafty play there early by Ben Davis and Brian Garcia Diaz.
No kidding. I think they caught him sleeping for sure. A very good, quick job of recovering, but it was a great attempt and a good idea. And to me, it looked like they were all over. It must have scored it out at the last moment, but whew, that would just kill that fast start attempt. But they're okay now.
Colton Ablatar Connor, the one to fall onto there for North Central, as the Panthers come out for a 1st and 10 from their own 37, directed by sophomore quarterback Chase Grove.
Chase has shown flashes of greatness for this first year of 10th grade play. and love to see him come on with a strong performance tonight.
Zion Murphy, the back, play action, Grove, a nice wheel out, crawled on the near side by Gillespie, and he's down inside Ben Davis territory, inside the 40. There's that hot start, Coach.
What a hot start and what an interesting route. They just kind of trailed too deep, jumped on the deepest, which you'd have to, and then they had a trailer right behind them, and that was a beautiful start to a play, and that's instant momentum.
To the other 37. Three-man front for Ben Davis, and now Grove will take a look back here at the near sideline. Last week, Chase was 20 of 31 through the air for 4 touchdowns and an interception. Gives the ball to Murphy. Nice hole over the left side as he kicks and dances and twists his way inside the 35 for a fun gain of 2.
Murphy's had a good year, and you can tell he's got the capability of breaking it. The question is, can the front line of North Central handle this tough and physical BD front? You know, those Ben Davis guys were born in the weight room. Since about the 3rd grade, those guys were pumping iron. It's going to be always tough to move the football on the ground, which will be a huge key for the Panthers.
Jordan Jones, 83 in white, backup wide receiver checking in for North Central. As Ben Davis subbing some players out here, including Keontae Toomer, one of their top two-way guys. Their starting safety, one of their top tacklers at 76 tackles per game, exits here. And now Caden Foster, who recovered a fumble last week for Ben Davis, trying to get off the field, and I think the Giants got to burn a timeout.
It says wind sprints for this dude.
You don't want a 310-man running back and forth between the middle of the field to the sideline here in the first quarter.
He almost made it. But they had to call that timeout.
We'll take a quick 30-second break and continue with our opening drive of the game here from Ben Davis. Second down and 8. Not even a minute gone here in the opening quarter. First drive of the game for the Panthers of North Central. Regular season finale here between NC and Ben Davis.
Second down.
Murphy remains the back alongside Grove. But a 26-yard wheel route to Gillespie on the first snap of this drive. Play action, back to Gillespie again. Nice move in the open field, looking for the first down and more as he lunges toward the 25-yard line. Holding on to him, Marcus Mitchell. That's 2 first downs for Gillespie.
Excellent job with the delivery of the football. He's got such a nice quick release and hit that wide open. They played off that slot back, and that's very, very dangerous. Both these teams, and in particularly North Central, they have speed and skill and can go the distance without much notice.
That's a gain of 9 to the 26 and a first down here for NC. Noah Ardillo-Miller, the wing back in motion. Murphy on the handoff, looking for the edge, finds it, and he got that back of the jersey tugged on right before he could get to full song. A couple of Giants take him down, but that's 2 nice runs here early for 0.
Very good job up front. Good. They have a very strong physical first group on that offensive line. Came off the ball very well, and a beautiful job on seeing the cut and getting up the field.
They'll put the ball at the 20, so a gain of 6 for Murphy. Upcoming, the 5th play of the opening drive of the ball game here from BD. 4-man front for the Giants. Murphy on the play action, and that one off target from Grove as he was looking for Jordan Jones.
He was, and they were all over it. They jumped into some man coverage. In fact, they've played 3 of their last 3 plays have man coverage, and they jumped that. They're not giving it up in this zone of the field. They're not going to play a zone because they know Grove makes a living chewing up a zone defense.
Chase completing just about 61% of his passes this season. Here's a 3rd down and 4 from the 20. Grove Nice protection from the offensive line, moving the pocket, directing traffic, lobs it up, and overshoots a target of Jawan Waddle. Back-to-back incompletions, and it's 4th down.
Again, they played a tough bracket coverage, and there was just nothing there. Good job of trying to wait it out and see if somebody breaks open, and then unloading and making sure that there's no minus opportunity here.
Jelon Amos was about to come onto the field for North Central. They're going to go for it here on 4th down and about medium. Again, they need the 16-yard line, so it's a long, almost 5 here on 4th down. Empty set, and North Central and first-year head coach Colin Kofer will take a timeout here to talk about it on this opening drive of the game.
Timeout called by North Central.
You can see Grove talking with Antonio Woodson. Both teams a little bit of confusion here. We saw the Ben Davis on the substitution kind of mishap a little bit earlier, and then North Central here a little bit confused about who was supposed to be in the right spot before 4th down.
And it's so important to, again, to play clean and eliminate mistakes. Stop doing the things that turn you backward. And right now, this is such a big key, and I'm glad they have a moment to get it straightened out, get everybody on the right page, and now execute with efficiency on this 4th down play.
Beautiful night here on the west side of Indianapolis. We've had perfect weather all season here so far. As you get a look at the pastel sky here on the west side of the Circle City.
It sure has been beautiful, but that is a little bit more of a robust wind than we've seen. That flag is active.
North Central going into the wind here in the opening quarter. So back to the empty set goes Grove. He has thrown incompletions his last 2 times. Amos the motion man. Delayed blitz coming from Ben Davis. Grove rolling to his right, looking for help. He'll tuck it and run. He needs the 16, and he's going to be close. And it looks like he got it right on the nose.
Nice job. That was poised play right there, because he was tempted to flip that ball, and they played him in a tough man coverage. The motion was a little bit effective and got Ben Davis where they didn't want to be, and they certainly didn't contain the quarterback, and he takes great advantage. Nice job, Chase.
Tight end Bryson Stallings back in for North Central. That's the 6'5" man on the top of your formation, wearing number 87. Amos remains the running back in for North Central. First drive of the game for NC. And a whistle stops play. And North Central's going to
use another one.
Use another timeout is what they initialed, or the officials are signaling that way. But members of the coaching staff down here at the bottom screen, right there, you see him walking into frame there. It looks like, I'm not sure if they wanted to call the timeout. I'm wondering if there was a misinterpretation from the officials, maybe with a hand signal or something like that.
I'll tell you what, I don't mind that they're using their first downs, because, again, stay clean, get it right instead of just taking a shot and hoping. I think they wanted to get it nailed down. To me, this is good coaching. We'll worry about the lack of timeouts later on, but right now, let's get it right and keep this drive alive. And, again, that fast start is so important in a game like this.
We mentioned Ben Davis coming back with their freshman quarterback this week, and NC's been able to get a lot of fast starts here to begin with. Let's take a look down at the sideline. We see Zion Murphy getting some work done on his shoulder pads with a member of the sports medicine staff, so that's why we're seeing Amos in the backfield here on the last couple of snaps for the Panthers.
Coaching them up. Let's get it right, and let's continue execution on this drive. We got BD on their heels and need desperately to take advantage.
Waddle and Gillespie, the 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. It's a first down and 10 from the BD 16. Going in motion is Ardillo Miller. Grove, screen, caught by Amos, cutting it up on the number, still on his feet inside the 5, looking for the end zone, and he will be taken down at the 1. Nice little screen there out to Amos.
Just short, almost got it across the line, but again, I will agree with you. The motion has been effective versus Ben Davis, and then motion, and then running a screen off that. Beautiful call, great concept. See, I'm glad they called that timeout and get it right. Get it right.
Desmond Miller saved 6 for Ben Davis. As a late sub, an extra fullback coming in here, turning and giving it right up the middle. North Central needed a yard.
30, Noah Ardillo-Miller.
And Ardillo-Miller on the carry. And looks like he's going to be no gain, still at the 1.
A little bit high with that football. Shoulders up a little bit.
1 yard line, second down and goal for the Panthers.
Jeremiah Murphy, the North Central transfer, coming in and keeping NC out of the end zone here on the first drive. Grove wants to do it himself. Trying to get those feet moving, and the Ben Davis defensive line coach able to push him back. And now it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Yeah, I don't mind a couple shots at it, but Ben Davis has proven right now that they're not going anywhere up front. Now you've got to use some of your skill, continue with that motion, and get Chase on the move where he's got a run-pass option. And that's been their best bet from what I've seen through the course of this year.
Ben Davis head coach Russ Mann applauded his defensive line in the last 3 weeks. So they've made tons of growth. A little push from behind, trying to get Grove to the end zone was Zion Murphy, who came back in. It didn't look like Grove's knee hit the turf when he went down initially. That's why he popped back up. But he still just cannot get that elusive 1 yard.
That is such a it's a difficult D-line to move. And now they're looking at a 4th. They stayed in it, bunched up. They haven't made any substitutions, so they're going to try to go mano a mano.
4th and goal from the 1. A catch and run on the screen by Amos got them into this situation. Grove. There's a little pop pass to the back of the end zone and overthrows the tight end Bryson Stallings, and an exciting first drive stalls out at the 1.
You know, that was the same call that they made last week, and it worked for a touchdown, which was a beautiful call. Last week, maybe he stepped into the line and make it look more like a sneak and then pulled back and hit it. But that was fresh in the minds of the Ben Davis defensive players. They defended it very, very well. We're not going to get fooled by that. So scoring opportunity is does not come through, but they do have excellent defensive field position. Love to see the attacking style defense that has been so effective for North Central. When they come after you, they can be effective. This is a good spot on the field to really try to get up the field and penetrate.
1st and 10 from their own 1 for the Ben Davis Giants. Gabe Kinnett gives off to his running back. That's a nice carry on 1st and essentially 99 for Ben Davis, and Avery Price, the backup running back, getting the start here.
Punched a hole in that right side of the offensive line and got some movement. Ben Davis, just like North Central, there's speed and skill everywhere.
So Price,
going
an 8-yard run, and he gets another one here, and he's out in the open field as he made a man miss. Gets taken down at the 25-yard line, but Avery Price really cooking here early after a rough week running the ball a week ago.
Just coming off the ball, that's an inside zone play. Just makes a nice cut. There's nobody backside, and again, speed, dangerous, great quick feet.
Miguel Downey on the tackle, and a flag is thrown, and the initial signal goes against NC.
Those zone plays, that when they cut back like that, it's all about gap responsibility. Staying in your gap, playing your gap, making it bounce to the outside where the secondary support comes from. But they're making they're punching nice holes in that and seeing with vision great cuts.
5-yard penalty against North Central. 1st and 10 for Ben Davis. Play action here to Kinnett. The freshman can really move, spins his way across the 35, and it'll be good enough for another first down as Kinnett, who got injured a couple of weeks ago, looking pretty fresh running the ball.
I'll tell you what, he's scary with that football in his hands. It's so unusual for a program like this, rich in tradition, to have a ninth grade quarterback, but you can see what the allure is here.
A whole bunch of Panthers take him down after the 13-yard design run. Kinnett, screen. Trying to get to the outside was Crawford, stepping through a couple of his tackles of his former teammates at North Central. That's a nice gain on first down.
You know, although they're 2-6, you can tell they are skilled and they are seasoned. They know how to play the game. They're taking advantage of what's there on the defense and executing and moving the ball. It's a nice quick release by that 9th grade quarterback.
5'9", 155 pounds. Give to Price again. Had 24 yards on the first 2 carries tonight. Gets run into by Jamison Hiddle. And that stops his progress immediately. It'll be a 3rd down and inches.
Doing a good job of using the whole field and changing up their looks, making the big fellas up front run sideline to sideline, and then coming right at them. But both sides of the field have tremendous speed. Just getting
3rd down and 2 give. Price to the 2nd level, and he's down inside the North Central 35-yard line. Saving more was Ablatar Connor, but Price is really cooking here on the opening drive.
And that's the 3rd straight play where they have located where they're soft in their secondary support, and they're making big plays off that. You got to have somebody locking down that edge, and Ben Davis is certainly finding that weak spot.
To the 31 goes Ben Davis. As Price has been the star of this opening drive here for Ben Davis. He'll have another opportunity here as he works the right side, already to the 2nd level. Zabair Green goes for a ride as he's wrestled down to the 20. That's another 10-yard carry there for Price.
Giving up big chunks with the front. It seems to me they're doing a nice job, Ben Davis offense that is if there's 2 safeties deep, and we've seen mostly 2 safeties for North Central for this whole drive. If you got 2 safeties deep, they're going to run the football against a short man box, and that's been very effective.
Over 50 yards on this drive have come to Price. Here's a pitch pass toward Avery Mitchell, and that's going to go nowhere fast thanks to Jamison Hiddle. Shovel pass to the speedy Mitchell. Looked pretty, only got a couple.
There you go. Good fundamentals. Got the safety support, primary run support coming hard and sealing that edge from outside in and eliminating any opportunities. That's the shortest gain of this drive.
Just 2 on the shovel. Mitchell last week had 1 catch for 12 yards. As he comes in motion once again. High snap to Kinnett, gives off to Jazz Coleman, their normal starting running back. As he plows forward for a gain of 3 to the 15. It'll be 3rd down.
Good mixture from Ben Davis. They're forcing North Central to play sound, tough, fundamental defense. Good things to work on for the North Central defense, but they're getting moved around up front.
3rd and 5. See Coleman, 5'11", 205 pounds. Last week in the win against Lawrence Central, 11 carries for 66 yards.
And it's so rare to see 2 backs in the same backfield these days, but Ben Davis is loving it.
Play action screen, almost underthrew Mitchell. He's got a pathway to the end zone, and he dives in for 6 for Ben Davis from 15 yards out, as Mitchell gets his first receiving touchdown of the year.
Just a well-executed drive, hitting in the right spots, using that play action fake to hit the corner. Little man short in the secondary coverage. Walks it in.
Mitchell, a 5'7" senior. As Brian Garcia Diaz on to add the extra point out of the hold of the guy that scored a touchdown, Avery Mitchell. And it is up and good, and the kicking year continues to be strong for Brian Garcia Diaz. 7-0 Ben Davis, 3 and change left to go here in the first. We're back with more next on ISC.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Tonight's game presented by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. And LD Smith Plumbing, tonight's big dog of the game, is powered by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. In plumbing and in football, the battle is won in the trenches, and that's where the big dogs dig. Linemen open the holes, unclog the mess, and protect their team every single down. That's why LD Smith Plumbing and Drains highlights the big dog of the game. Stay tuned, we'll award the big dog in the fourth quarter. And, Coach, the big dogs up front were leading things big, particularly for Avery Price on that 99-yard drive that took 10 plays to find pay dirt.
It is so rare for a high school team to be able to execute a 99-yard drive without a mistake, without a mishap of any kind. Just did a nice job of preparation, hitting them in the right spots, and it doesn't hurt to have some speed and quickness in your backfield. They certainly have that. Now we got to see what kind of answer we have, see the maturity of this football team to continue. That was a successful first drive they had. They just sputtered in the red zone there inside the 5, but doesn't mean they can't move the football as they showed in the first drive.
That drive for Ben Davis again, 10 plays, 99 yards, took almost 4 minutes off the clock. Another pooch punt up. Andrew Veach able to make that catch at the 42-yard line. Ben Davis trying to catch NC sleeping again. The Panthers right on top of it.
They don't. That's not a bad idea because they do, as I said earlier, they do have some weapons returning kicks, but they're going to stick with that short kick. It leads to great field position for an offense. If you get to go 60 yards versus 99, as we saw in that first drive, your percentages go way up.
Ben Davis not a single negative play on that drive. And there was only one North Central penalty for 5 yards. Everything else was the BD offense. Second crack at it offensively here for North Central. Low snap as here's the backup quarterback Cole Kreinhagen in for the first snap and gives the handoff there. And it'll be no gain to about the 40, to right back to where we started, right at the 42.
A little two-back offense again here for North Central. I've seen more of that this game than we've seen the entire season. Trying hard to get the running game established. It's been a good, strong offensive line for North Central through the years. We'll see how they stack up with the Giants of BD.
Kreinhagen stays in at quarterback with Murphy offset to his right. High handoff to Murphy, almost fumbled it away. He got hit hard by David Asamoah, but a flag was thrown in the backfield.
Had a bit of a hole, a bit of daylight, looked like he was going to go and then got smacked good, but we do have Laundry out there.
And it's a false start against the Panthers. That'll move them back. We do see Chase Grove down on the sideline with his helmet on, so it's not an injury situation here, but North Central is trying to get a different look here with the backup quarterback, Kreinhagen.
I think they want to give a good look at Kreinhagen. Good, solid, fundamental, excellent QB. They're blessed with some depth, but it's these backward plays that you just have to eliminate if you want to be serious about winning.
Second down and 15. Second drive of the game for NC. Kreinhagen throws, and it's going to be in and out of the hands. Almost intercepted by Javier Horton, who's playing a little bit of both ways for BD. And that one could have been dangerous.
It was dangerous. He cut it loose. He was anticipating that he was going to settle in that hole between the two defenders. That was a little bit of a situation. Probably they're not used to Cole being the QB and saw things a little differently. Kreinhagen threw that ball where he thought the window of that coverage was, and receiver stopped beforehand. Tough start.
Looked like it was actually Desmond Miller on the pass break up there for Ben Davis. Kreinhagen on third and long, pump fakes, trying to use his legs, and he's taken down for a sack. On the play there by Ben Davis's Tyreek Hinton, who's played well as of late for the Giants.
Yeah, that's a tough start. And again, it's a penalty that sets you back and gets you off count there. And a defense that struggled, gave up a 99-yard drive, is now back out with a quick 3 and out. Very, very difficult on a defense.
Caleb Fowles on to punt, 5'9" junior for North Central. First punt of the night here for the Panthers. Almost blocked. Playing keep away from the BD return man, and the Giants will have good field position at around their own 40. Tonight's game brought to you by Raising Cane's. Hit the spot at Raising Cane's, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle-cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes. Each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled to golden brown perfection. And most importantly, where the secret sauce, Cane's sauce, recipe Cane's sauce, is made in restaurant every day. The Cane's box combo is sure to hit the spot and leave you craving more. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
You know, that sounds good. Every time I hear that ad, it sounds good. Have you been there? Been to one of those places?
Many times.
Is that right?
I am. There are some Raising Cane's around Central Indiana, Coach, that know me by the sound of my voice.
Is that right?
Not just from broadcasting on the IHSAA network, from frequenting their establishment so much.
Love it. Love it. I thought they were kind of new here.
Cannett on the jet sweep, faking it, and then popping it forward to another one of his talented offensive weapons for a positive gain on 1st and 10. That was Jeremiah Murphy, the outside linebacker.
I know you'd like to see this North Central defense respond with more movement, with more quickness, with more aggressive. They've played tough, and they've played spirited all year long. And this is a real key now, getting into the playoffs. Can you keep the enthusiasm level up there where it needs to be?
Murphy stays into the game at the top of your screen with Crawford. Hand off to Price, who had 60 yards on that first drive, and he powers his way forward into NC territory for a first down.
Yeah, Ben Davis has got it going now. They can hurt you with a quick passing game. They can hurt you with a quarterback run, and also they got an offensive line coming off the football versus this three-man front from North Central. It's tough to stop a two-back offense with a three-man front.
68 yards for Price. They fake the jet sweep, a screen out to the near side, and nicely done by the North Central defense to blow up the screen out to Jaleel Durrett.
Very good job on fundamental pass support. They came up and hit that properly inside primary support, and the safety came to clean it up. Very good job on their defense.
That's Woodson on the tackle. No gain. And it remains 2nd down and 10. Screen to the far side. This is Crawford. Has a blocker in front. Steps through 2 tackles. Trying to hit that accelerator. Gets spun around by Veach. It'll be a 3rd down and manageable here as we hit the end of the first quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by Shearer Brothers Realty. Curious as to how much your home is worth? The Shearer Bros team at United Real Estate will provide you with a no-cost, no-obligation market value report of your home. Call now, 317-255-7285. After 1, it's Ben Davis 7, North Central 0. We're back with the second quarter next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe Cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Yeah, the dots of pink tonight here at Ben Davis for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A lot of happy folks on the home side of the stands here as their Giants lead 7-0 after 1 quarter of play here from BD on the regular season finale for both of these clubs. 3rd down and 4 coming up here, Coach, for Ben Davis. Seems like it's a really, really key for North Central to get a stop here on 3rd down and short.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ben Davis can hurt you in so many ways. And I'd like to see just some good, solid, fundamental defense, spirited defense. Make the stop and get that ball back and make something happen.
There's a 7-yard catch and run there by Cam Crawford, and here's a 3rd down and manageable here for BD. At their own 36, and a flag is thrown. And this will be,
shoot, it's a first down.
It's going to be offside or encroachment against that North Central defense, and you saw the whole Ben Davis offensive line stand up, and that's what drew the eyes of the NCD line.
And that's something that plagued the Panthers last week too. It's so important that you play fundamental defense, move on the ball and not on any kind of other movement. Those are the things that get you beat.
Second penalty of the night against North Central. Both have gone for 5 yards, but it's a fresh set of downs for Gabe Kinnett and the Ben Davis offense. Drops back to throw, doesn't like what he sees, now likes the other side. He's got a man wide open coming out of the backfield. One heck of a catch by the man out of the back for Ben Davis. That's Caleb Scott, the H-back, at 6'2", 225, and he rumbles in for a touchdown from 31 yards out.
Nice job, QB. Defense kind of went with the run fake. Left it wide open, busted coverage. You can't make that kind of a mistake. It's going to be some kind of a quarterback as he grows up. But he is very effective. But it was a coverage bust that, in the end, did the Panthers in on this drive.
Scott and Ward, the two H-backs for Ben Davis, both got hurt at different points early against Carmel, and that's what Russ Mann said really just kind of they had to throw their game plan in the trash with those two H-backs gone, and you can see how effective those guys are when they're at full health.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Five-play drive, 57 yards. Taking a couple of minutes off the clock, the end of the first and the start of the second. Again. And NC trying to block that extra point.
These are the things that will just drive a coaching staff crazy, if you must know.
Now they're speaking from experience or anything like that, right?
Trying to establish a solid program, but these miscues just continue to haunt you, and it's back to the classroom.
So it looks like they'll enforce this on the kickoff as Ben Davis sends Brian Garcia Diaz back out to try his second point after touchdown tonight. Out of the hold of Mitchell, and it is up and it is through, and just underway here in the second. Ben Davis takes a 14-0 lead. We'll step aside for 30 from LD Smith.
Yeah, he had a gun, let me tell you.
Back here at at Ben Davis High School, North Central and BD tonight. A lot of UND flavor, not just with Coach Polizzi here in the booth. Colin Kofor, the head coach of North Central. My old high school classmate Randall Courtney on the staff. And the backup quarterback Cole Kreinhagen's dad, Kevin Kreinhagen, was not only a mad scientist offensive coordinator back in the early 2000s here at North Central, but he could swing the ball a little bit too back there for UND, right?
I'm telling you, if there was ever a better Division II pure arm, I'd like to see it, because Kevin could certainly wing it. Certainly wing it, and it's so fun to see players that you've had come through the program and then go into the coaching world and really make an impact on young people. It's very, very, very exciting and rewarding.
I would have loved to have seen back in the day when he was coaching the offense at North Central. He had some of the most unique plays you had ever seen before these guys that are offensive gurus now. Coach Kreinhagen, as he'll always be known to me as,
yes.
I think he was ahead of his time with some of the stuff he was creating back in the day.
Well, he had a great background. He came from Seymour, and their coach was Joe Goodman, and he was a very innovative offensive mind. And then, of course, played for Polizzi there for a while.
Yeah, the great Polizzi.
Which didn't hurt.
Short return here by North Central. Again, another pooch punt, or another pooch kickoff here by Ben Davis. They're keeping North Central with this great field position here, and North Central has to take advantage here.
They sure do. That first drive was so impressive till they got down and 4 and out at it. But they can spread it out and get back to the things that brought them success in that first drive. The drive with Kreinhagen, they tried to hammer it up front, and that's going to be a tough way to go versus BD. As you know, they're physical.
Ardillo Miller was the one on that kickoff return for the Panthers, as the starter Chase Grove back in at quarterback here on the third drive of the game for the Panthers. Running back is Zion Murphy. NC had a 3-and-out the last time. Grove shuffling those feet, throws a dart to the far side and trying to come back to get it, and catching it beautifully is Jawan Waddle. Hello.
Nice job on the read by the quarterback. Threw that back shoulder and hit it perfectly. Nice big chunk play. Keep the momentum going, boys.
A 21-yard strike, Waddle's first catch. And a beautiful toss there by the sophomore Chase Grove. Waddle last week, no catches at Pike. Makes a big one here. Murphy out of motion out of the backfield, trying to get the screen across the middle, and it was almost intercepted as there was a jailbreak coming right into Grove's lap.
Nice idea, just not very well executed. But to keep coming with the screen, to mix in the screens and the deep ball and some of the things they can do with that offense is going to be the key to get them back into this.
Remember, it was the screen to Amos that got him 15 yards down to the 1. That's in a similar play that we just saw there, just not the same result.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jordan Jones at the bottom of your screen along with Antonio Woodson. At the top, it's Waddle and Gillespie. North Central stacks the wide receivers. Murphy right up the middle, big hole into the secondary, and Murphy trying to spin his way and in for 6.
He hit that line of scrimmage like a bullet and would not be stopped. Beautiful job in finishing the run. Hitting and spinning and getting himself in the end zone. That's the kind of energy and enthusiasm and spirit that Coach Cofer's been working so hard to get established.
Javier Horton tried to rip it away, but Murphy clasped down on that ball in his second rushing touchdown of the year as NC trying to get to within a score here with the fouls, extra point upcoming. Out of the hold of Kreinhagen. It is up and through, and just like that, 3 plays, Coach, and that great field position pays off for the visitors.
Beautiful job of execution, getting back into things, answering, and getting on the board. No stalls on this drive due to a great effort. He's been effective all year. I'm surprised when you said he only had 2 touchdowns because he's been a breakaway threat and a good, hard runner and is certainly a team leader for this whole season.
Tonight's game brought to you by Roots Cafe. Start your morning at Roots Cafe, where the coffee's fresh, the breakfast is made with love, and everyone's greeted with a smile. For 17 years, we've been serving up breakfast, brunch, and lunch to our community. We're open daily from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., so come in, get comfortable, and feel right at home. After a slow start in that first quarter, Coach, North Central trying to feel a little bit home here on the west side of Indy. And you mentioned Murphy had a longest rush of the year, has been 56 yards, just that second rushing touchdown here. Now for the defense, how much that give juice to those guys trying to keep this game at 1 score?
Exactly, that's going to be the key now. They have, out of their 3 drives, North Central's been effective on 2 of them. If they could just get a stop here now and get some momentum through the defense, whether it be a 3-and-out or a turnover, pitch in here now, defense, and let's get that team win.
The 3 deep men for Ben Davis. And like Coach mentioned earlier, North Central's got a lot of talented guys that can return kicks. So does Ben Davis. They've got 8 guys that have returned at least 1 kickoff or punt this year. They send back the 3 most dangerous men here, Javier Horton, Davion Davis, who can really fly, and Avery Price, who we've seen already once. Here's Davis. He'll take it at his own 15. Spun down right when he gets back to the 25-yard line, so a good kick coverage there by North Central.
Nice job. That answers your question about what that does to the defense. You can see they had a little extra effort, little extra robust spirit covering that kick, and that's certainly a great way to start the drive.
Jamison Hiddle and Chris Benjamin in on the stop as Ben Davis has their worst or second worst starting field position of the night here at the 25.
And they have had their way against this Panther defense. We'll see if we can come up with some wrinkles to stop this. When they are effective defensively, it's when they're bringing people and attacking it. And that's what I'd like to see right now. 2 backs in the backfield, which has been a problem.
Coleman the back there. Gets the handoff from Kinnett. Trying to work the outside, cuts his way as he dances for a 5-yard pickup to the 30.
It's been tough to stop. It will continue to be tough to stop. When you have a lead back in there and you're playing with a 7-man front versus an 8-man front, you've got an advantage in the run game. We'll see how the Panthers adjust and react.
The quarterback, Kennett, freshman, missed last week with an injury. 7 for 7 throwing for 65 yards. Trying to go 8 for 8 here. He'll tuck it and run. He's pretty good at this category too with a side step. Tyron Brady tackles him from behind, but not before Kennett able to get the first down across the 35.
I'd say pretty good was a good description. He has got some moves. Very, very impressive.
Transferred into the township from Indian Creek after last football season.
Is that right?
Yep. And Russ Mann said that we know how good he is as a dual threat, but we also know that he was just an 8th grader a calendar year ago, so they don't want to run him into the ground. So they tell Kennett to try to pick his spots where he can tuck it and run. Hands off to the big fella Coleman, who makes a nice cutback move out to midfield, and Coleman out in open space is a dangerous man. Now trying to cut his way back in, getting a lead blocker out of nowhere was Jaleel Durrett, but Coleman at 5'11", 205 can really move.
He hit the line of scrimmage with a great load of steam. He's a big fella, and the way they're playing their offense here with 2 backs in the backfield, and they're going to make you play gap control defense, and if you're not, they're going to be able to rip off the big ones. This is the 3rd straight drive we've seen where there has been real no evidence that we're going to be able to stop him with the Panthers.
That's a 39-yard rumbling run for Coleman as Ben Davis has it first down at the North Central 24. Here's Price, the scat back, trying to find his way to the outside. Can't get out of the grasp of Green, the outside linebacker, able to make the stop and tries to corral Price.
But still picked up 5 or 6 yards with a little counterplay. Again, we're very well blocked, and they have good vision. All these backs have good vision. Pick out a hole and hit and spin and make something happen.
A gain of 6. That puts Price over 70 yards rushing in the first half. Screen to the top of your screen and home free into the end zone, almost untouched on the outside. That is the speedster, Davion Davis.
Just one of those days as an offensive coach for Ben Davis. Anything he pulls out of the hat is going. And they're just doing a nice job of blocking and taking advantage of some holes in that defense.
Malachi Falcons, big 71, the right tackle, got that kick-out block on the screen. That's all that Davis needed to go find pay dirt.
It's going to be a track meet now. Let's see if NC can keep pace.
3rd passing touchdown of the night for Kennett. Extra point up and good from Brian Garcia Diaz. And with 9 and change remaining in the first half, Ben Davis's lead back up to 14 here on ISC.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Tonight's game presented by the Indy Card Exchange. The Indy Card Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the Indy Card Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free Indy Card Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. Still plenty of time here in this second quarter for North Central trying to make a dent into this now 2-possession deficit once again after the screen catch and run for a touchdown there by Davion Davis for his 8th receiving touchdown of the year.
Well, they're going to have to respond, and they're going to have to answer because Ben Davis has got things clicking through the air, on the ground, with their screens. They just got a good thing going with their offensive play calling. Plus, they got a quarterback that can scoot, so you don't want to fall too far behind. You better answer here. I'll be anxious to see what the attack plan actually is.
3 pooch kickoffs tonight for Brian Garcia Diaz. Will he try to make it 4 here for Ben Davis? NC with just 6 men up near the top of the formation. Another short one here. Taken and caught right on the near sideline by one of the upbacks for North Central. And again, they'll have great field position at their own 40.
That's right. We'll take it. He looks good. He looked comfortable fielding that ball. And, man, you'll take a 40-yard line start every time.
That's where NC started last time, and it ended with a Zion Murphy 39-yard touchdown run. And Chase Grove back at the sticks with Ardillo Miller, a wingback, and the running back Zion Murphy here for NC. Remember, North Central used 2 timeouts in their first drive, so they have just 1 here. Grove going for it all down the far side, and he led Waddle too much.
Yeah, he would have liked to throw that ball over the outside shoulder more toward the boundary. Nice job on the route. We had a little bit of a cushion over the defender, but thrown to the wrong side of the field. But I don't mind that as a purpose call. Try to loosen that secondary up and keep them alert to the fact that we can go deep on you at any time.
Looked like it was Coleman in coverage there for the Giants. 2nd down and 10, and some movement up front.
Tell me it was defense.
Microphone's not working, but it does not go against the defense. I apologize for not giving you what you want, Coach.
It's all your fault.
It is.
It's all your fault.
That's not the first time I've heard that in my life. So.
But you know how many times this happens, and it just kills drives.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got to get an extra 5 yards, and it's been a struggle. Anyway.
3rd penalty tonight against North Central. All have been of that 5-yard variety right near the line of scrimmage. Murphy on the handoff, explodes into the secondary, tried to stiff arm away from Keontae Toomer, and the safety for Ben Davis is a hero right now.
He saved a big one, and it was a nice cut. Good job up front. Not a whole lot of movement, but just enough to create a crack to hit that and rip up the field. Now it's very manageable, a 3rd down situation to keep these chains moving. Important drive here for momentum, and you don't want to give Ben Davis another opportunity right now as hot as that offense is.
New right tackle in for NC number 69, Curran Willoughby at the bottom of your screen. 12-yard run by Murphy makes it 3rd and 3 near midfield. Murphy reversing course, runs into his own man, and that's what did him in as Toomer came down from that safety spot and stuck him for no gain.
Had to make a cut he wasn't anticipating, and safety came up, and really, I love the way their support people are in the secondary for the BD Giants.
Grove was trying to plead his case with his eyes. Wanted to go for it on 4th down, but fouls on to punt once again.
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough call. You don't want to give him another opportunity for sure. But particularly, you don't want to give him half the field to work with.
And, Coach, this goes back to your point as a timeout is called on the field. It looks like by Ben Davis it will be. It's their 2nd. This goes back to what you said earlier about that false start penalty on the drive. Without that 5-yard penalty, you would have had a 1st down right now.
You continue. And those are the things that really, I'm sure the coaching staff at North Central is harping on, working on. Eliminate the things that get you beat, and then you'll have a chance to win.
Tonight's game presented by Indy Thunder. The Indy Thunder are Indiana's premier beat baseball organization, which gives blind and visually impaired athletes a chance to compete at the national and international level. The Thunder are now 6-time World Series champs, including a perfect 26-0 season in 2025, and are looking for sponsors, volunteers, and even players for their 25th season coming up in 2026. Contact Darnell Booker at 317-370-7231. And you can watch the Thunder anytime by logging on to the IHSAA Sports Network. So that leaves Ben Davis with One timeout left here in our first half of play. The Giants have scored every time they've touched the ball tonight. Started off with a 99-yard drive, then 57 and 75 yards most recently.
Yeah, they can hit you in so many different ways with good skilled people, and they're blocking well up front. This is a formidable offense.
Punt returner is Javier Horton for Ben Davis. As Cole Kreinhagen, the backup quarterback, to line up the punt. It's his first punt of the year, and he spins one out of there. It's going to take a big North Central bounce. Did he get that from his dad? Does Dad ever punt for you?
He had the ability to, but he was too valuable in other spots. Well, I mean, you're going to make him at least drive 82 yards on this one.
Not a bad punt there from young Cole.
Must come up with a way to throw a wrench in this offensive machine. And to me, the trick is to pressure them. Pressure them. Bring some folks. If they know where you're going to be, you're easy to block.
An over 30-yard punt there for Kreinhagen. Fresh set of downs here for the Giants from their own 18. Knet still perfect through the air, 8 for 8 for 83 yards and all 3 scores. Fakes the handoff to Coleman, going deep up the far sideline. He's got Davis, who's now trying to wrestle away out of the arms of Schneider Pierre. But Davion Davis, a special talent on the outside for Ben Davis. First down.
Just a one-man route, little play action fake, and he had him beat from the start. And it was just a matter of that throw was going to be on target, and it certainly was. BD's on the roll again.
9 for 9 is Knet. Second time he's found Davis. This one to the 35. Give off to the big man Coleman as he rumbles over the right side, trying to find a rushing touchdown as he dives inside the 10. And this Ben Davis offense working at hyper speed tonight, Coach.
They sure are. And they're just hitting them in the right spots. They rolled out of that cover 2 look down to a cover 3 look, so they had no primary run support to that short side of the field, and took advantage and hit a big one.
Down inside the 10, back to Coleman. Flag is thrown as he tries to stretch it out. Tackle on the play by Jamison Hiddle, but we'll wait to see what the flag is on.
Almost certainly a hold.
Original line of scrimmage was the 10, so that's a 25-yard run for Coleman before that.
Is that their first penalty?
It is.
I thought so. Played very, very clean, but this is a big one. It's going to hamper this drive.
And a holding there, and it's a big one. We mentioned North Central have kind of been they've been 3 penalties for 5 yards, but this 10-yard one makes things a little bit more difficult here for the Giants.
Sure does. It just what it does is just puts a hurdle out there for them. They have had their way for the whole duration of this game, and a little stumbling block has got to be good.
First and goal, but all the way back at the 20. Mitchell, the motion man. Knet fakes the handoff to Price, throws a screen, then Crawford bobbled it, but they'll say he never gathered it in. That's the first incompletion from Knet, and that might have been the break North Central could have looked for. They could have picked that up if it was a complete pass.
Exactly. But just to throw them off stride, that penalty, they're drive killers. That's nothing new. But in this situation, it threw them off stride, and now we got a second and goal.
How many second and goal plays do you have from the 20?
Good luck.
Play
that
action.
One,
Knet finds Davis at the 6, dancing his way in. He's fumbled the ball. It's still loose. And did Ben Davis fall on it?
They did.
And they did.
Oh, my goodness.
Jaleel Durrett was the first one there, and he's able to save disaster for the Giants.
Wide open receiver, beat the coverage. Stripped on the 1, perfect. Yep, jumped all over it.
Downey and Hiddle ripped it out. flag has been thrown. So a hold against North Central, so touchdown counts anyway, but Coach, I think you're right. It just seems that every bounce night going Ben Davis's way.
They have, and it's a lot of, just good coaching. Got him in a press coverage and took advantage of a mismatch there and got deep and on the board again.
Garcia Diaz on for another point after touchdown attempt. It's bobbled, and Mitchell is going to be wrestled down from behind by Antonio Woodson. And NC able to keep it at a 20-point deficit, but the Panthers finally getting someone to go their way.
Yep, hopefully that'll be a little spark of momentum. 2 out of 3 drives have been effective. Let's see how we can recover here.
3-score game here for Ben Davis out front as they try to move their win streak and win their second straight game. They had lost 4 in a row before their victory last week. North Central comes into tonight's regular season finale, losers of 3 in a row.
That tells you a little something about how tough this conference is. If this is a 2-6 Ben Davis team, and to me they're as explosive as anybody we've seen all year in terms of offensive talent.
And remember, they're out tonight with no Kenneth Doss, who's a backup wide receiver, also is involved in the running game as well. He was their quarterback last week, Coach, where he went 6 of 9 for 143 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's nice, huh? That's nice.
It's a nice luxury to have.
Nice backup.
Out tonight with a hamstring injury. Ben Davis hoping he can come back when the sectional play starts in a couple of weeks for the 6A folks. Classes single A through 4A get going next week. 5A and 6A join the fun in a couple weeks' time.
Boy, I sure do like that 9th grade quarterback for Ben Davis, though. He has got, he can hurt you in a lot of ways. It is amazing. And also must have been a disappointment for the folks down south at Indian Creek.
Gannett tonight, 10 of 11 through the air for 3 touchdowns and 150 yards after missing last week with an upper body injury. Suffered at the end of that game against Carmel. Didn't get to play last week against LC. Both quarterbacks used last week, Kenneth Doss, as we mentioned, and Jake Collins, who's the traditional backup quarterback, not playing tonight. Collins has been sick all week. So it's another freshman, Darius Mitchell, who hasn't played any varsity snaps at all this year. If something, God forbid, would happen to Gannett, you got another young fella coming in there that can't drive himself to or from the game. Squib kick, and this one's going to go out of bounds. And the only real blemish tonight for Ben Davis, Coach, has been this kickoff situation. They've given North Central beautiful field position the entire night.
I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Yes, they're dangerous back there and kick returners, but if you're going to give them a short field every single time, but we can't question because look at that scoreboard.
That's right. Still a lot of time to go here in the second quarter. Each team with just 1 timeout. As Jelon Amos will line up in the backfield here for North Central. First time we've seen him out for an offensive drive. And that field position is going to keep getting better and better as they march it off to the 44 for NC.
Well, if you want to be serious about a W tonight, this is a very important drive, and they've got an opportunity here with the short field to attack it.
3-man front for Ben Davis. Murphy the motion man. Amos on the handoff. Runs into his own man. Pops his way free. Twisting across the 50. A nice gain on 1st and 10. Tackling the play by Eli Crawford.
Good job of coming off the football up front, creating a nice seam. The thing that is consistent about North Central running backs is they all have that first step explosive speed, and that's tough on an offensive line and a defensive line to try to stop.
8-yard pickup for Amos, the junior back. 4 on the front for Ben Davis. Grove dropping back. Good protection, now has to roll, throws, coming back to get this one just in front of the 30. And making the catch is Antonio Woodson. Nicely done.
Good adjustment from the wide out and a better adjustment by the quarterback seeing this. He wasn't getting anywhere. He was well covered deep. Stop and come back and throwing it on the button, on the run. That's as nice as I've seen all year from him. Beautiful job.
16-yard catch, and North Central in business at the Ben Davis 32. Amos remains in the game as Murphy exits and gets a breather. Taking the handoff once again, and he's hitting the backfield, and it was Keontae Toomer coming down from that safety spot again. That was one of the more sure tackles we'll see in the MIC.
Nice job. They jumped into some man coverage and put some pressure on it. That's always effective down here as the field gets shorter and shorter and shorter to come with some heat. And that hit him just at the right time to put a little hurdle in this drive.
Have not seen Tank Averett, the normal starting running back tonight for North Central. Last week, 8 carries for 81 yards.
I don't see him on the sideline.
I don't see a 5 out there either.
I see 6 in, not in pads either, his brother.
Yep. So a tough break with neither Averett brother. Oh, I see 5 right there. He is in street clothes tonight, so neither of the Averett's able to play tonight.
Yeah.
That's hurt North Central here offensively. It's 3rd down for NC after the Amos carry.
That's been a lot of their offensive flash, not only in production, but in attitude. Those two play the game hard, and you can't sometimes play over losing people like that.
7-yard carry for Amos, so how about a 3rd and 1 from the Ben Davis 24? Murphy in, trying to keep it up on the ground, just bulldozes his way in, carries men with him to the 20. An aggressive run for Zion Murphy, moves the sticks.
That looked like bowling. he picked up the spare. He hit that hard, and 6 of the guys in the dark shirts went down.
We've already seen Murphy break one tonight. The only touchdown for North Central is his 39-yard touchdown here run earlier here in the second quarter.
Respectable answer. Now finish this off. No mistakes. Everybody's fundamentally sound, and get yourselves on the board.
Amos, the back to the left of Grove. Who's the motion man? Handoff Murphy right up the middle. Plows his way forward for a couple. Then gets pushed back. Whole bunch of folks in there for BD. David Asamoah was able to push the pile down. But the big thing, Coach, that Russ Mann told us today, he said he loves the way that the defensive line has now figured out that they connect and they have to have a good relationship with the defensive backfield, that everybody plays a role even though they don't think about it.
That is so important. That's all defense is knowing where your help is and being able to contain the football.
Amos with 65 yards on the ground. A little option here for Grove, and he has hit hard. Marcus Poe and Keontae Toomer smack down the North Central starting QB.
Yeah, they had that scouted. They played it very well. 3 guys on the QB, and pitch back was not even taken seriously. And drilled him and made an important 3rd down situation here for the Panther offense.
A 1-yard pickup, and it's 3rd down and 6 for North Central as they're down by 20 as we inch closer to 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Regular season finale for both teams before they start postseason play in 2 weeks. Grove, pressure coming, dancing, hits and lunging his way out near the 15. He needed the 16 for the first down. Or needed much more than that, excuse me. As Tyree Kenton stopped him, it'll be a gain of 1 to the 15. So 4th and 5.
Little penetration disrupted that play. Nice thought on the call, didn't block it very well. Big play, come on, let's get this. Let's convert this.
North Central looking for their first 4th down conversion here of the evening. Less than 2 to go, it's 4th and 5. They need the 10-yard line. Amos trying to make one man miss. He does, trying to find the end zone. And that's one way to get your first 4th down conversion of the night.
Nice job on the call. Everybody in the stadium, including both sidelines, were anticipating pass. Handed off, well blocked up front. One busted tackle. into pay dirt. Beautiful execution and nice job of finishing the drive.
Had a man flying up the middle there from Ben Davis, and Amos made a miss right at the line of scrimmage. Would have been a turnover on downs, but his second rushing touchdown of the year. Gets North Central close here, trying to add the extra point is fouls. And it's up and through. And with 100 seconds remaining in our first half, it's back to a 2-score game here with Ben Davis out front, as we'll keep it here with North Central down by 13.
You know, comes to a point now as a coaching staff when you're trying to put together and build a program that we're not looking at the scoreboard. We're just trying to get better at what we do, and that was a real good indication of the coaching that's going on and the players that are buying into the program, putting together a beautiful drive there to keep up with the scoring and get themselves a little positive momentum.
North Central's coach has rushed for over 100 yards here in the first half, but it's been the explosive plays that have put them behind the 8 ball. How do you like them being able to run the ball at such a high rate here in the first half, be able to try to keep themselves in this one?
I think that has really been a factor, especially down in the red zone where they're getting man-to-man coverage. There's a little less of a problem with the support people from the secondary being in a factor on the run, and they're just blocking better. They're just coming to and blocking better, and that's a great thing to see.
North Central set to kick this one away to 3 of the more dangerous guys on the Ben Davis roster. There's Davion Davis. He's had a couple of electrifying catches tonight. One for an 18-yard touchdown, the other one for 47 yards. He's joined back there by Avery Price, who all he's done tonight is rush for over 70 yards in the first half. And Javier Horton. They'll give Davis another crack at it here at a short return the last time with it. Runs right up the middle, trying to get the full steam, breaks a couple arm tackles, and just saving that tackle is that man right there for North Central, but Davis was almost all the way up the full song.
I'll tell you what, the kicker, number 29, was saying, please, please.
Somebody
get him. Somebody get him, because it was going to be me and him in just a second, but a nice shoestring tackle stops that just where it needs to be stopped.
It's about a 30-yard return there for Ben Davis. As Davion Davis, that man is electrifying with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, he hits that so hard. There's so many in high school in particular that return the kick as dancers and not thrusters, and he took it right up in there, and that's always golden.
One timeout, 93 seconds for Ben Davis. They do get the ball to start the second half. They're looking for a wide receiver pass. Trying to get to the outside was Kylan Higgins, and he stays on his feet. And this thing was going from nothing into a lot of something as Higgins makes his way to the North Central 35. First down.
Good choice, good choice. He was well coached and he paid attention. If it's not there, don't throw it. He had a temptation to throw it. He didn't, held on and made a big play out of it.
It's probably a good thing because Higgins' only other pass attempt of the year was intercepted.
Is that right?
That is.
So it was a good.
A very good decision.
Yes.
Screen, caught. This is Toomer. The guy that's been tackling everybody here has been worked his way into the offense the last couple of weeks, Coach, as he gets the first down catch.
There's skill and speed everywhere in this conference, and BD is certainly well supplied.
To the 33. Back to Toomer on a little tunnel
well.
Screen, and he breaks a couple tackles, and Toomer is going to run his way into the end zone for a touchdown there from 29 yards away.
Just set it up perfectly, blocked just like you would on Thursday's practice against the Bags. Perfect job, walked it in the end zone. Tough offense to stop.
Ben Davis just comes at you every which way, and a couple of broken tackles, and Toomer, with too much speed, gets his first receiving touchdown here of his junior campaign.
That was too quick of an answer. Nice job offensively. Tough on the defense. Trying to get some momentum going, and they're just not cooperating.
And the point after touchdown is good, and Ben Davis has the lead back up to 3 scores once again. Those last 36 yards on that drive, Coach, all by Keontae Toomer on 2 catches.
Good job of him. He's certainly dangerous with the football, but you really have to credit the call, the execution of the play, and the perimeter blocking has been outstanding. Very, very tough to get off blocks with their big, strong, and physical wide receivers like that. And that's a very impressive team here. I'm telling you, they're 2-6, and whew, they're dangerous.
They do have defending state champ Brownsburg in their sectional. And here's the whole drive, and it didn't take long as you get Davis with a long kickoff return. He set the table for BD. And then the almost wide receiver pass for Kylan Higgins. Didn't want to get a second interception of the year, so he tucks it and runs for a cool 19-yard gain into North Central territory. And then those 2 catches, 1 for 7, and the last one for 29 from that man right there. This is the 29-yard run for Keontae Toomer.
Just like you draw it up. Nice job with the execution. Time to answer once again.
Ben Davis head coach Russ Mann calls that package where it's Toomer, Jeremiah Murphy, and Javier Horton, the 3 defensive guys. That's called the Flyboy package. They installed it last week. Quarterback Gabe Kinnett was upset that they installed it with him out, and Coach Mann said, don't worry, they'll be there when you come back this week. And
that's right.
They've been here in a big way.
Well, they got to like it, and it's certainly going to be a factor as they advance in those playoffs.
Amos
they
on the
kicked this
return.
one deep. They were listening to you.
Yeah. First time in my life that's happened on a flip. No people look at me and go, look here, talking guy. We don't need any tips from you on how to do the football thing,
Well,
which
maybe
is fine.
they should now because that worked. Now they got to go 86, 83 yards.
And just 1 score, or just 1 timeout, I should say. And Ben Davis will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So make it, take it situation here as they lead by 20. What does North Central want to do? Down deep in their own end of their own 18 and 1 timeout. Grove across the middle, complete, and that's one way to start the drive. Out and rumbling, trying to get to the other end is Waddle, cutting it back, and he is stopped inside the 20, but Waddle, a big catch and run on 1st down from the 18.
Great execution, saw it quickly. He's got such a nice quick release, hit the seam, and kind of caught BD down on their heels, thinking maybe they're going to kneel on it and let us go into halftime, but no, sir. Defend the whole game and the whole field. Good execution, now finish.
60-yard catch and run for the top wide out target.
Got him wide open.
Had Gillespie and then got caught in some hand fighting on that far side of the field. Defending that play, Marcus Mitchell. That stops the clock with 21 seconds.
Well, he had number 3 on the seam wide open and just overlooked. That's all right. They'll come back to that play.
Grove over 140 yards passing here in this 1st half. Is 6 of 12, though, so the accuracy has not been there tonight for the sophomore gunslinger. 2nd and 10 for the BD 22. Bluffs the screen, comes back to the middle. High throw. Amos hauls it in. Now he's trying to use his speed, cut down from behind. And North Central used their last time out and stops the clock at 13 seconds.
Good call right at the right time. Excellent job of recovery from that BD defensive line. That they were purely fooled on the screenplay, but they put the brakes on and got in their pursuit thoughts and made a great play, great defensive stop out of it. It would look like it could have been very dangerous.
Saving tackle by Ibrahim Udunalape, who's made a real big impact. Just a senior. The Ben Davis coaching staff told us he hits you really, really hard. That time, Udunalape was able to get a shoestring tackle on a sprinting Amos.
Such a rich traditional program. Since I've been around here, Ben Davis has always been among the elite. And this is a very, very prideful program. And if they're struggling a little bit this year, I'm sure it won't last long.
They've been bitten really hard with the injury bug. We mentioned last week 14 guys out, 11 starters. They do bring a ton of guys back from this very talented bunch. We mentioned Keontae Toomer playing both ways. Same thing for the quarterback, just a freshman in Kennett. 3rd and 4 for NC from the Ben Davis 16. Draw, Murphy up the middle, and he's in for 6. Second touchdown of the night for Zion Murphy.
Good job. Caught him in a soft cover 4 bracket coverage. No support at all from the secondary. Once you break through, hand it to the ref. Nice job, good execution, and that's a positive. That's a positive. Finishing the first half with that kind of intensity and that kind of execution has got to be something to build off of as they go into halftime.
That drive, Coach, was 4 plays, and it took a whopping 36 seconds off the clock.
Right down the field.
This last minute has been breathtaking offense from both North Central and Ben Davis.
You cannot afford in this conference to take a play off. I think BD felt like, you know, they're not gonna try to score on us this drive. We can phone it in, and they got a nice wake-up call.
First half rushing totals unofficially for Zion Murphy, 9 carries, 81 yards, and the 2 touchdowns. He has been stellar tonight for NC.
Really has. He's been the heart and soul of things, but they've had some nice execution from some perimeter players, and the quarterback has executed. Just keep building off of it, eliminate the things that set you back, the penalties, things like that. Just keep executing and build toward the playoffs.
The dangerous kick returners back out into position for Ben Davis. Davis, Price, and Horton. Do you kick it away from that guy, 3 in black, who's been a thorn in your side here for a lot of the night, particularly the kick return game?
Definitely. Definitely. With 8 seconds left, you probably roll it down there. Let one of these guys that aren't used to handling that ball handle it.
Kayla Fowles has got her teed up. We've had 2 touchdowns in the last 93 seconds of the second quarter. Fowles kicks it away, and he'll let Horton have an opportunity out of here. Finds a crease, still on his feet with a stiff arm, dancing his way back, now reversing field, and this is dangerous for Ben Davis. The clock is at 0, so Horton's got to score. He'll be taken down at the 40 of North Central, but that was a hold-your-breath moment with Javier Horton reversing field.
Don't you just love it?
Whew.
What kind of explosiveness is around this conference? I'm loving it this year. It's been so much fun to watch.
If you like offense, this is the game for you. 55 combined points in our first half of play. And Javier Horton, who was a wide receiver the last 2 years, tried to take it to the house to end this first half on a big note for Ben Davis. You can see the BD sideline. They thought he had a crease. Just got wrapped up there by the North Central defense. First half in the books. BD on top, 34-21. You're watching high school football here on the ISC Sports Network.
When you're looking for a college, you should consider cost, financial aid, access to professors, internships, and outcomes. If you're goal-oriented and ready to take control of your future, you need to visit Wabash College. Wabash is nationally ranked in the most important areas: professors willing to help you achieve your goals, an unbeatable classroom experience, and happy, successful students. Schedule a campus visit today at wabash.edu.
Halftime here at Ben Davis High School at the break. Ben Davis on top over North Central, 34-21. Final game of the regular season. Halftime brought to you by LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Labor's District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. Raising Cane's. Game days are better at Cane's. Raising Cane's chicken and fingers. Chicken fingers, one love. Not chicken and fingers, just chicken fingers. Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. Taylor's Pub and Grill. Come for the game, stay for the good times. And Wabash College. Schedule a visit at wabash.edu. 55 combined points here in the first half, Coach. Defenses have going to have a lot of things to talk about here at halftime.
They sure are. They're going to be drawing up some stuff and bringing some pressure, but it's been an offensive showcase. So much skill on the field, such good executions. And when you think about it, we got a 9th grade quarterback going against a 10th grade quarterback, and we're seeing some excellent play behind the center.
What has stood out to you particularly from Kennett, the quarterback from Ben Davis, just a freshman, a youngster, was on the sideline a week ago out with an upper body injury. He doesn't look one bit rusty at all here in the first half.
Not at all, not at all. When you say what stands out about him, I would say his athleticism, because he has the ability to get his feet set and make a quick release under the unnormal situations. He can get his feet in the ground and deliver that football, and that's enormous to do. Plus, he can hurt you on the run, and he's just had a good grasp on what they're trying to do offensively.
I'd like to remind you that tonight's halftime show presented by Taylor's Pub. Taylor's Pub and Grill at Greenbrier and Nora is your neighborhood pub where the drinks are cold, the crowd's electric, and the welcome is always warm. We've been serving Indy's North Side for over 30 years. Come for the game, stay for the good times at both 86th and Ditch and 86th and Westfield, right next to North Central High School. For North Central, they get that big answer late. The big catch and run by Waddle sets them up deep into Ben Davis territory. They're able to punch it in with Murphy, excuse me, that 16-yard run, his second of the night. How'd you like North Central's answer there at the end of the half when they, like we all thought, like most of the Ben Davis folks thought, and probably most of the people here thought, they're down by this amount of points, one timeout, deep in your own end at the 18. Probably just take a knee, go to halftime. They said, no, let's try our hand, and they got a big catch and run. How'd you like their response?
How did I like it? I absolutely loved it.
Loved it.
Honestly,
there you go.
Because this is a team that has not always shown the ability. I mean, they have a good fighting spirit, but they have not always shown that we're over the situation where we're perennial losers. This was a good indication that they wanted to fight and stay in the game, and worked it right down the field with fireworks, and that was beautiful to see.
You combine the ending of the first half for North Central with now just down by 2 scores heading into half number 2. It seems like it's monumental for a team last week that struggled in the loss to Pike, kind of had a dip in energy, particularly when the game got a little bit out of hand. So it seems like North Central's got a lot to build on, even though they have been down for this entire game today.
I agree with you. There's a lot to build off now. There you have there's some holes in the defense, and Ben Davis, quite honestly, has got talent all over the place. And they're doing such a good job of finding the weakness in all these defensive coverages and fronts, and they're taking advantage of their advantages, and that's something you need to work on. I think they need to continue to find ways to pressure and play the game on the Ben Davis side of the line of scrimmage. But offensively, they have been able to answer with authority on a lot of different occasions.
How important has been the running game tonight for North Central? We mentioned Murphy, 2 rushing touchdowns, 9 carries, 81 yards. Amos, 4 carries for 32 yards as North Central rushed for over 100 yards in the first half.
It's huge because it's given some confidence to their offensive line. Those first 3 drives, they were running up against a brick wall and couldn't do anything. Kreinhagen's series that he got in there, they tried to hammer it, and there was nothing there. But to be able to get some creases in there, because it doesn't take a picture-perfect block play, get a crease, and they've got enough speed and skill to hit the big one. And you saw the depth in their running back game. Their 2 best guys are are not even in dress today. So they've got some depth, and that's pretty impressive.
On the other side for Ben Davis, both they and North Central 2-6, but the talent level over there for Ben Davis is right near the top of where we see with the rest of the schools here in the MIC. They're trying to get ready for postseason play starting in 2 weeks, as we mentioned, for 5A, and for North Central and Ben Davis in 6A. These guys with a win tonight could really be feeling themselves with 2 wins in a row heading into the playoffs.
Absolutely, and you mentioned, and Coach mentioned before the game how young they are.
Yep.
It's tough. I mean, this is the toughest conference, maybe in Middle America. And when you're trying to win it with sophomores, this is the best you can ask for, really. You've got progress through the season. You get better and better and better. You're developing really explosive speed and skill, and these kids are playing hard. It's not like they're walking through things. They're playing hard. They're on fire, and that's fun to watch.
This is the Taylor's Pub and Grill halftime show. At the break, Ben Davis leading North Central 34-21. A lot of offense in our first 24 minutes tonight. See what the defenses have cooked up coming out after the halftime break. We'll step aside, come back with more here on the ISC Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3, training!
It's time for the Wabash College halftime trivia. The Wabash College Little Giants hit the road against Kenyon tomorrow in Ohio for a 1 p.m. kickoff. The Little Giants have been successful against the Owls historically. In fact, true or false, Wabash has never lost to Kenyon in football since joining the NCAC for the 2000 season.
You're asking me if it's true or false?
If you'd like, if you'd like, or we can just kind of let it sit here and let the people. No cheating, of course. If anyone's trying to Google this at home, shame on you.
Don't Google it. I'll do whatever is best for the program.
Okay. True or false? It's an easy one this week for you.
You want me to make the answer now?
Let's go.
It's true. Kenyon is a swimming school. There's no way they beat Wabash, ever.
That's correct. True. Wabash has won their last 19 games against Kenyon, only losing in the two schools' first ever meeting way back in 1942. Make sure to schedule your campus visit today when you log on to wabash.edu. And as the calendar turns, as now we're in the middle of October, that means we're closer and closer to the annual Wabash DePaul Monon Bell Classic, which you can watch here on the ISC Sports Network. One of the great games in college football, no matter the level, and it's a pleasure to have it here on the ISC Sports Network yet again here in 2025.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
I'm doing
making the trek over there?
I'm doing the game with
fantastic.
Rob tomorrow, which will be a big game.
Yep. I hope I left the booth for you in good tact when I was there a couple weeks ago, when DePaul played Kenyon, mind you.
Really?
So, yes. Keep your eyes on some late plays for DePaul. They had a Hail Mary at the end of the first half when they brought the backup quarterback in. So keep your eyes. If they get late in the first half there, they might be throwing a bomb to the end zone with the backup QB.
Okay, I certainly will. It'll be a tough game. John Carroll is ranked like 5th in the country, Division III. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Be a good one tomorrow here on the ISC Sports Network. As mentioned, Wabash trying to stay undefeated against Kenyon. And since joining the NCAC back at the turn of the century, that is tomorrow in Ohio. And the Wabash DePaul annual matchup in the Monon Bell Classic coming up here on the ISC Sports Network later this season. At the break, Ben Davis on top, 34-21 over North Central here on the ISC Sports Network.
When you're looking for a college, you should consider cost, financial aid, access to professors, internships, and outcomes. If you're goal-oriented and ready to take control of your future, you need to visit Wabash College. Wabash is nationally ranked in the most important areas: professors willing to help you achieve your goals, an unbeatable classroom experience, and happy, successful students. Schedule a campus visit today at wabash.edu.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. Liuna's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. the Labor's International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
The Ben Davis Marching Giants taking the field here at BD to entertain the folks here at halftime with a Rubik's Cube theme out there. Coach, you ever tried to solve a Rubik's Cube before?
You know what? I may have picked one up once or twice, but never really seriously tried, no.
The best I ever got was to get one color on one side. After that, that was it. Seeing the men and women that are able to solve them in 3 seconds just blows my mind. It's unbelievable.
That right? Huh. Very interesting. But I just do love the way they, this whole league certainly knows how to put on a football game.
Yep.
They do a great job with the inside and outside of the stadium. They always make it exciting, and you can see their school spirit by how many students are involved in one way or another.
Get the halftime entertainment, some of the best venues in the entire state as well. You
Absolutely.
Go around in this conference, and then like we mentioned a couple of weeks ago when you and I were doing the North Central Lawrence North game, that was the week that the news of Carmel and Center Grove coming back to the mix next year broke. So we're bringing those two teams back to the mix.
Yeah.
The best conference in the state, only getting better with the addition of those two clubs next year.
That's it is amazing, really, how difficult it is to win in this league. And I give these guys, especially Coach Kofer, of what he's trying to develop under these circumstances. There's no question in my mind he'll be successful. But it's a steep hill to climb because, as I said earlier, I don't think it's just the best conference in the state. I think it could be in the whole Midwest from top to bottom. When you look at the quality, when you get down to a game like this where you got two and 6 teams playing against each other, and there's some lights-out athletes on the field.
Some first half stats. Back at the starting quarterback spot for Ben Davis, freshman Gabe Kinnett was great in the first half, completed his first 9 passes, went 10 of 11 for 150 yards and 3 scores. Jazz Coleman, 4 carries for 72 yards on the ground, including a longest run of 39. Top rusher in the first half was Avery Price. He had 7 carries for 74 yards. Kinnett also carried the ball twice for 20 yards. Jaleel Durrett gets a 1-yard rushing touchdown. That's because he recovered that fumble in the end zone. And Kylan Higgins had 19 yards on the ground. 2 catches for Davion Davis for 63 yards, including a touchdown. Avery Mitchell had a receiving touchdown, and Keontae Toomer had 2 catches for 36 yards and a score. On the other side for North Central, Chase Grove, the quarterback, 7 of 13 through the air for 153 yards with no touchdowns. But the star in that first half for NC was Zion Murphy, 2 rushing touchdowns, 9 carries for 81 yards, and Jalen Amos also had 4 carries on the ground for 32 yards and a score. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. And as we mentioned, with 55 combined first half points, there's a lot to choose from our great crew in the truck. And Ben Davis struck early, and they went outside to Avery Mitchell.
Good job of execution. I think they have done a wonderful job in their play selection, hitting all the soft spots and executing to perfection.
That was the first catch from Mitchell, and then the Scott touchdown. North Central here able to answer on the big 39-yard touchdown run from Zion Murphy.
Beautiful job. They tried to strip him at the end, and he knows better.
Bubble screen out to Davion Davis, a little tunnel screen from 18 yards. He finds Pater, and then this is the 1-yard rushing touchdown for Durrett. You see Davis fumbling it, but then the ball was just there wide open before Durrett fell on it. Amos with a nice move near the line of scrimmage. He's in for 6. And then this is the end of the first half. Keontae Toomer took the last 36 yards himself, this one from 29. But North Central able to answer here with the second Murphy touchdown, all set up by the big catch and run by Waddle on the first down play.
Excellent excitement in that first half.
34-21 your score at the break. Ben Davis leading North Central as they try to pick up yet another win here against North Central. It'll be their 40th win all time in the last 40 years as BD comes in 39-8 against the Panthers. North Central's last win in this series came back in 2018 when they won 38-23. As we mentioned, both teams getting ready for sectional play. Ben Davis calls sectional 5 home. That's a tough one because you have defending state champion Brownsburg in that one. Ben Davis will square off with the Orioles of Avon in the semifinal. Brownsburg and Pike On the other side of things, North Central in Sectional 6, they will match up with Decatur Central in a battle of the Lawrence Township Schools, Central and North on the other side. You go up and down the 6A sectionals, coach, and it is heavy hitters everywhere you look.
You know it. You know it. You didn't mention anybody there in any of those teams that wasn't effective in what they're doing with their football programs. And I just got the LC up on Carmel, 27-22.
Wow.
At halftime.
Talk about Carmel, one of the surprise teams this year. Kevin Wright back coaching the Greyhounds. They're right back there, one of the top 10 teams ranked in Class 6A. They've been fantastic all year. And then don't forget the 2 teams from up north, 2 undefeated squads up there in Crown Point and Penn. 6A is the adult league. It's an adult swim every time you go out there on a Friday night.
Sure is. There's such good football, such good high school football. And I just want to take a minute here because there's a gentleman that pretty much identifies as Ben Davis, Dick Dullahan, who has, in my mind, since I've been around here in the mid-'90s, really led the charge to bringing Indiana high school football to the level it is right now, as good as anywhere in the United States. And I credit Coach Dullahan and his not only his teams and his programs, but the football camps that he ran really resonated through the whole state. And I think that was a big boost in high school football, and we're seeing the rewards right now.
What was it like to be a coach at those camps with Coach Dullahan?
You know what? He was so much fun. Honestly, I was a college coach all my life, but I didn't go anywhere without a notepad, and I would take notes because he was such a good technical coach, and he was so good with his ability to communicate with young people, and he could push you. He was a tough, hard-nosed coach, but he could push you in such a way that kids didn't feel like it was they were getting yelled at. They were getting coached hard because he truly wanted to make them better. So it was fun for me.
Those camps still going on to this day, and Coach is still out there running them and being very involved in them, even into his 80s.
He's probably winning sprints, I'll bet.
I think so. when he was running those camps up at Taylor University for a couple summers, couple times I saw him, or the couple times I'd walk out there when the camps were going on, I wondered who the wise old man that was out running and beating these wind sprints on these young guys, and then someone goes, "Hey, that's the guy whose name's on the camp," and I go, "Well, that makes sense then."
Yeah, he's been phenomenal for a long time. I can remember, I don't know, he was probably in his 60s when he would lead the speed portion of the camp, and the way he taught form running and speed improvement, and he was out there, doing the demonstrations, and it was so impressive.
What was it like to kind of take things? You mentioned taking that notebook with you, particularly when you were around him at those camps. What was it like to be able to take things, particularly from him who had so much success at the high school level, and try to use it there at UIndy?
You know what? There was a lot of the fundamentals of the position of quarterback and wideouts, just the basics. He was so good with the fundamentals, and some things, you can overlook, but it's always good to hear it from a guy that's been doing it forever. And he had the ability to coach anywhere in the country on any level, but he decided to stay at this level because he knew what kind of an impact he could make on young people. And as I said before, from my vantage point, he was humongous in the development of high school football in this state.
Ben Davis has 10 total state championships, including a national championship back in 1991, and Coach Dullahan had a hand in the majority of those 10 state championships. Both teams back on the floor. I think Coach would have liked the high-scoring game here so far, as Ben Davis leading North Central 34-21. We'll take our last break and come back and get ready for the second half next here on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking, honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
The Cupid Shuffle, a favorite for every high school across the state of Indiana and every high school dance that I ever went to in high school, which was about 900 years ago. Glad to see there's some of the classics around here in 2025. So we're getting ready for the second half kickoff. Ben Davis will receive that second half kick, and it looked like they had an opportunity to really knock on the door late in that first half, leading into the second with that late touchdown, trying to get it to that running clock here in the regular season finale. North Central had other ideas. We mentioned neither of the Averett brothers, Tank or Demetrius, out there tonight for North Central. Does that make it, what they did, Coach, in the first half, even more impressive than what it already was?
I will say very, very much so, because those were two flashes that they could add offensively to hit the big plays. And what they've done tonight is expose some younger kids to the opportunities, and they're showing that there's certainly capabilities coming up the ranks. So there's plenty of speed and skill that we see in this program. And this is going to be a very interesting third quarter for me, because the last 2 weeks, LC and Pike went into halftime thinking we got a great shot to win this, and then for one reason or another kind of stumbled around and lost control of those games in the third quarter. This is going to be important to see how they come out storming and execute with proficiency here in the third quarter. So important.
We mentioned going into halftime, Coach, that there was going to be a lot for the defensive coordinators to talk about with the combined 55 first half points. On the North Central side of things, you think it was even hammered home of like, hey, this is where we have to set the tone here and put the last 2 weeks, second halves behind us?
Exactly. And that's, it's all about the execution. It's all about playing sound fundamentals. They are a well-coached team, but if one person gets out of position, as we've seen here in the first half, boom, Ben Davis is gone. So you got to be sound fundamentally, and you got to eliminate the things that make you lose.
Second half brought to you tonight by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants. The Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. The Indy Card Exchange. See if you can make money off your collection. Find out how at indycardexchange.com. And LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. And remember, we'll have the big dog of the game coming up for you in the fourth quarter, presented by LD Smith Plumbing. Ben Davis won the opening coin toss. They deferred. So they will receive here in the second half. They had the Keontae Toomer long catch and run on a screen pass. Looked like they're going to go into the half up 34-14, but North Central had other ideas. Zion Murphy with that second rushing touchdown of the night.
Does so much for the confidence of a young football team, especially a young quarterback and some skill guys, to be able to score quick like that. That's a large, big mountain to climb, and that they're taking one step at a time, and confidence is everything when it comes to building momentum and trying to resurrect the program.
Panthers in white. Caleb Fowles will kick off our second half. And it's the same three-headed monster back there for Ben Davis. And Davion Davis, Javier Horton, and Avery Price. Last time, Fowles made sure to keep it away from Davis, who has had two 30-yard kick returns tonight. But then remember, at the end of the half, we saw Horton almost try to break one free before he ran out of space. Regular season comes to a conclusion tonight. Second half underway here from Ben Davis. NC keeps it away from that three-headed monster in the back. A short kick forward taken by one of the BD upbacks. And good coverage there by the North Central kickoff unit. And BD will start just shy of their 35.
Interesting concept on how they want to kick off, but this is a good job here. That's not a bad starting point defensively. In fact, they've been given Ben Davis half a field to work with. Interesting to see how they come out. I hope we can really see some defensive pressure. Defensive pressure, big number 99 on that defensive front for the Panthers has been exceptional all year. And he's a guy that is in the running for that big dog. Anton Ennis has been very good up front. I'd like to see him get in that backfield and play the game on their side of the line of scrimmage.
Had 6 tackles last week. He and Styles Burnett. Burnett had his first 2 sacks of the year last year, 90 in white. Here's Gabe Kinnett, who only misfired on 1 pass in that first half. Gives off to Avery Price, and he's already into the secondary. Ripped down at the 44-yard line, but Avery Price picks up 10 on a blink of an eye run.
Boy, they get to that corner so quickly, and when you got those 2 safeties, the support takes a little longer to get there, and you got to get on your horse and get up and support that, or it's 10 yards in the wink of an eye.
84 yards now for Price on the ground. That's his first carry here the second half. Now works the right side of the formation. He is smacked down hard by Chris Benjamin. But another 5-yard run there for the small Price.
Outside zone, they just try to stretch out that defensive front. And you know, those guys are so good at picking up seams and seeing the seams that's a great scheme. To me, the answer is to angle slant, bring some people, and disrupt that line of scrimmage.
A gain of 4. Kinnett will take it himself. He slides right before he gets planted by Veach. And it looks like Veach might have made contact with Kinnett right after he started to make his slide, as Ennis also one of the last ones to get off the pile as well.
That's going to be interesting to see what that call is. Yeah, it's holding.
So take that run away. I thought they were going to get Veach.
That was questionable.
Yep,
that was
close.
Questionable.
See if we can see the hold here. Oh, right there, right at the bottom of your screen. Burnett got that left arm pulled.
Holding the big fella. Sometimes you just got to grab him, Coach.
And keep the try to keep the big dog down, right?
Sometimes you just got to grab him.
It was 2nd down and 6. We'll see where they mark this holding off. It's going to put, it will put Ben Davis behind the sticks. So put it back to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down here for Ben Davis on the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Motion man is Murphy. Screen to the near side, and Davion Davis in the open field, and Davis whirling his way away, and he is going to go all the way for a long, long touchdown, as Davion Davis has got speed for days.
Nice job on the execution. They're just so dangerous what they can do offensively. That was one of the few really 8-man fronts we've seen from North Central, and whether it was a check off or just a good play call, they took advantage with that wideout screen, and go the distance that quick is very, very tough on the whole defensive coordinator.
Davis, 3 catches tonight for 124 yards. That one for 61, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. And not even 2 minutes in to this 3rd quarter, and Ben Davis has got that lead back up to 20.
Whew. Difficult to stop.
Thought North Central might get a break there with that 9-yard holding penalty from where it happened on the field, but again, that tunnel screen with Davis has just been absolutely dynamic all night.
And they're so good at blocking that, and they had one less person to block in that situation. And once you've got some breakaway speed, it's very, very difficult to get people chase that thing down.
2nd week in a row that Davion Davis has had 2 receiving touchdowns. It's also his 3rd 100-yard receiving game as well. He's also done that in back-to-back weeks.
And it's also the 2nd week in a row where North Central came out at halftime and gave up that drive, that first drive where you really need to establish some defensive momentum. It's very difficult, but as I said, you take one step at a time. You're building the program, and you got to just keep coming and pounding on the sound fundamentals.
Davis, one of a handful of seniors for Ben Davis. I'm sure everybody in the MIC will be excited when he graduates and they don't have to worry about defending him on Friday nights anymore.
Trust me, there are more coming up the ranks.
We mentioned Kenneth Doss, who was the quarterback last week, had played a little bit of quarterback early in the season, but nothing really since they said mainly playing backyard football growing up. He came off the bench, went 6 of 9 for 3 scores last week. If that doesn't say athlete, I don't know what does.
Unreal, unreal. So much fun. This conference has been so much fun to cover.
And this time Ben Davis bluffs that short pooch kickoff that they'd done for pretty much the entire night. Getting a little bit colder out there, so the kicker Brian Garcia Diaz wearing gloves on both hands.
What did we do?
The Giants were doing a chant or a cheer of some sort, and did somebody jump off sides or offside because there were 4 seconds left on the play clock?
Can't jump offside.
That's a false, or sorry, it's a false start. I guess too much jumping and celebrating on the chant for the false start.
It's very rare. Very, very rare.
Meg, the only thing I can think of, Coach, is that when they were jumping up and down, someone's foot must have crossed the line.
You know what? The line is where the football is. So they were far from that line. I don't know if they just had to stay set, and maybe that movement cost them.
A deep kick here and a fair catch called for, but they're going to let Amos, or they're going to let them take it right the middle. Here comes North Central flying up the middle with Jared Harrison. It looked like he'd called for the fair catch, but no one else saw it, so he took advantage and sprinted all the way into Ben Davis territory. Huge return.
We see a number of different young men pitching in, and just the talent and the speed and quickness that's on this sideline has been amazing, and there's just such a good map for the future, skill-wise, certainly.
So after the quick strike for Ben Davis to go back up by 20, North Central gets a huge kickoff return. And now they're setting up shop in BD territory at the Giant 46. That was Jared Harrison's first kickoff return of the year. Not bad.
Seems like I've seen him before, but maybe it's in warm-ups. Yep. Certainly he's got some juice.
Quarterback is Chase Grove, 7 of 13 in the first half for 153 yards. Zion Murphy, the running back. Play action. A little screen complete to Gillespie. That's how they started the first half, and more positive yardage here for the North Central offense through the air.
Good job on the adjustment. They jumped down and brought the safety. Good read by the QB, getting it out of his hands quickly. I'll be anxious to see if they come back with that double streak we saw in the first drive of the game. That was so effective against a cover, against a retreat corner.
8-yard pickup, third catch of the night for Gillespie. 2nd and 2. Another play fake right across the middle, complete, wide open. Here comes Waddle. Had the big catch and run in the end of the first half, and here he breaks free for 6 from 37 or 38 yards away.
That was a read by Chase right there. They dropped that safety at the last minute. Had a man run up the seam. Great adjustment, recognition, deliver the football, and we got a beautiful block downfield to put it in.
It was Horton, ran right into Gillespie. That broke Waddle free for his first receiving touchdown of the year for the sophomore.
Okay, that's progress. That's progress versus the last couple weeks. Sluggish start of the second half. This is beautiful.
That puts Waddle over 100 yards receiving in a game for the first time this year at 119. And the Fowls extra point is up and good, and North Central continuing the offensive output. They're back to within 13 here. Just 2 drives in, not even 2 minutes gone in the third. A lot of offense here from the west side. 2 for 2 on that drive, both through the air for Chase Grove. The final 38 yards going to Waddle. Gillespie had the first catch, and he's the one that spurned Waddle for the catch and run on that touchdown. Feels fitting that he started the drive and then sets up the TD.
Big plays all over the place this football game. Good progress, as we can see from North Central. This is a game of progress. Keep playing, eliminate the mistakes, and keep playing with great spirit. And it's a huge step forward.
We've played a minute and 37 seconds in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 touchdowns and a total of 5 offensive plays from scrimmage.
Lightning strikes. Yeah, this we had a guy beat the ball that time.
Rare that you see that once in a game. Even rare, I think, on 2 ensuing kickoffs.
Grab that guy and tell him.
Stay back.
My goodness. Don't cross the line till he touches the football.
Again, North Central doing all of this scoring tonight with no Tank Averett and no Demetrius Averett out tonight. Still on the field, but down in street clothes here this evening.
I'd like to find out what their chances are to get back in the action for the playoffs, because they certainly add a whole bunch of new dynamics to this offense.
And Demetrius, the top wide receiver at 510 yards on the year, second on the team in receiving touchdowns. And Tank, one of the top, the second leading rusher. Return here for Horton. Javier trying to find the edge, puts his shoulder down, and he gets stopped. So North Central's done a good job to try to neutralize these dangerous kick returners, and they're keeping Ben Davis, trying to pin them deep in their own end.
Very, very good job. Nice job with the coaching of the kick return. Beautiful job trying to get out flanked there and just had good leverage on the football. Those are the fundamentals that you just gotta hammer in and make it second nature. And then once that gets established, you got a real chance to win.
Ben Davis ball at their own 29-yard line. Last drive there at their own 34. Davion Davis, 61 yards to cap that one off.
Hasn't been a whole lot of punting, has there?
No. Big drives. Another handoff to Price to start. He is so slippery. And a second batch of that North Central defense. Anton Ennis, all 330 pounds on him, holding on to Price, making sure he doesn't go any farther.
He says they're not going anywhere. He's looking good. He was our first game of the season. He was the big dog. He's been playing pretty well consistently throughout, and just as strong here today.
Time out on the field for an injured Panther. It's Tyron Brady, the senior linebacker, will step away as the Sports Medicine staff tape comes out to take a look at him.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Tonight's game brought to you by Shearer Brothers Realty. The Shearer Brothers team at United Real Estate is the only sales team that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call for details at 317-255-7285. Tonight's game also presented by Taylor's Bar and Table, the same Taylors you've known and loved for over 30 years, but now it's time for the whole family to get the experience. Serving Noblesville, Fishers, Ingalls, and Pendleton, it's your spot for great meals, friendly faces, and a place everyone can enjoy together. Taylor's Bar and Table. So out of the injury timeout, Brady helped off the field. Handoff. Again, working that far side of the field is Ben Davis. Penalty flag is thrown. As there's Jameel Stevens Jr. Did not have a carry last week, but gets a carry right here on second down. We'll wait and see what the flag is. And it goes against Ben Davis. So they'll go back up the Giants. Again, over 100 yards of offense between the two teams. Here just over 2 minutes into the third quarter with two electric touchdown scores by both squads. And they'll march this thing back to the 25-yard line. That'll make it 2nd down and 14. Still a 2-score lead for Ben Davis, as Jameel Stevens Jr. remains the running back. First time we've seen Stevens here tonight. Did not see him in the first half. Gets another handoff here. Works his way up the middle and runs right into Burnett and Ennis. And Coach, that's over 500 pounds of beef up front.
You know, when they all hit the ground, I felt the shivers.
Me too.
I felt the tremor.
That's why I'm holding on to the table. So just what North Central needed, a 3rd down and long after the gain of 2. 3rd down and 12 to be exact. NC defense looking for their first stop of the night as they got the deficit back down to 2 scores. Kennett drops back to pass, fires across, and he's short-arm it into Davis. And they'll say he caught it at the 40-yard line, a gain of 13 on 3rd down and 12. Right on the button when Ben Davis needed to play, they got it.
Nice concept of the route. Run off the inside receiver, open up for a little bit of a dig, a little comeback in the inside from the outside receiver. Pick up a nice 1st down.
4th catch of the night for Davis. A quick run that gains just 1 yard here for BD. Price back in there, the running back.
Play a little more physical defensively at the start of the 2nd half, which is very welcome to see.
Second drive of the 3rd quarter for Ben Davis. They try to build on their 2-score lead. Kennett, pump fake, double move, got a man open, and he led him too far as he had Durrett streaking up that sideline.
And that was a little bit of a coverage bust. The safeties just jumped down hard to the run support, or so it seemed, and had a man wide open. Thankfully, the ball was overthrown.
Just the 2nd incompletion tonight for the freshman quarterback, Gabe Kennett. Another opportunity for North Central to get a stop here early on in the 3rd. Screen near side, complete to Avery Mitchell, blown up big time by the North Central defense. Kenneth still the first one to come in and get him, but a flag is thrown late.
Jumped it hard. What a nice job of supporting that play. Big hit. A little bit too much after the whistle. We'll see what the call is, but I'm afraid what's going to happen here.
It was Mitchell on the completion. They've got the ball resting back at the 30. That'd be a loss of 9 right now. Here's another look at it right here on the screen. You see Still coming up and blowing up that play. And then
yeah, 9-0. 9-0 made that big hit. I don't know. It's hard to tell from where we are whether it was a whistle or what. But everybody wanted to get a little piece of the action, which isn't all bad.
So it would have been a loss of 9. March at 15 yards, 1st and 10. To the North Central 46-yard line. Just a crusher there for NC.
Certainly is. It's not bad to see your team play aggressive. That's what you want. But there's a fine line between being aggressive and being over-aggressive.
Kennett on a screen, pressure in front, throws complete to Davion Davis, making a 2nd man miss. Now trying to go end to end. He runs from one sideline to the other, has an alley up the far side, spun down to the 10. Saving 6 was Miguel Downey, but Davion Davis is lightning in a bottle.
Not to mention the play by the quarterback to get him the football.
Yeah.
A couple of really dynamite athletes, and once he gets in the open field like that, it is big, big trouble.
Catch and run of 36 yards puts Davis over 140 receiving. Play fake again. Knet might run it himself. He does, and he is in untouched from 10 yards away as Knet gets his 5th total touchdown tonight. This one dance-worthy on the ground.
Nice job, execution. Super talented quarterback slash athlete, and it was very, very difficult to defend that play. He had it from the start. 2-on-1 option, and it was going to be trouble for the defense all the way. But the penalty, extremely costly.
Second rushing touchdown of the season for the freshman Knet. And the lead is back to 20 after that point after touchdown. Tonight's game presented by LiUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LiUNA. The Indy Card Exchange. The Indy Card Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the Indy Card Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free Indy Card Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. 7:31 left to go here in our third quarter. North Central finds themselves back down by 3 scores here once again. After that 7-play drive by Ben Davis. That takes 71 yards to find pay dirt. And 5 total touchdowns tonight from Knet.
They do such a nice job of spreading you out. It can run so much offense from those formations that they thin you out so well. Can run inside, run outside. It's just a lot of defense to cover 53-yard wide field with such speed. It's been tough.
And he had the stop. Kenneth Still read that screen pass beautifully. Would have been a loss of 9 yards on third down. He would have forced Ben Davis to punt, but then just a mental lapse from Burnett coming in and hitting him late after the whistle. There was a lot of noise going on, so he might not have heard that whistle, and that was what was the detriment there. And 2 plays later, Ben Davis is in the end zone.
Sure is. It's so difficult, but you know, that's all part of the growing process. Good teams aren't doing that. Good teams are staying off and eliminating the things that make you lose, as I've said 100 times in this game.
Harrison and Amos deep for North Central. As Garcia Diaz kicks it deep. And Harrison lets it go into the end zone. He'll take it 3 yards deep, but in high school they blow it dead for the touchback. And NC will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. Still plenty of time left here in the third, Coach. Down by 3 scores, but we see now how quick North Central's offense can go. It's pretty much tonight, it's going to be whichever defense can stand up here and keep the other at bay.
No kidding. Like. It'll be interesting to see if they can come back now with some explosiveness. The last few drives have been wonderful in their ability to connect and move the football.
Dating back to the end of the second quarter, North Central has scored on 3 straight drives. The problem is so is Ben Davis tonight. Here's Grove. Amos on the give. Gets a couple. Runs right into the teeth of that defensive line.
Safety comes down hard now and stops that play, which leaves them in a vulnerable spot. I hope they saw this. They could play action pass and take advantage of that, but that's tough to run against 8-man front that aggressive.
7 minutes remaining here in the third.
Safety's down.
Ben Davis showing that pressure, almost a fumble in the back as the exchange between Grove and Amos was almost troublesome. Here's 3rd down and medium after a couple of short runs from Amos.
Yeah, BD's defense getting very, very aggressive, dropping down safeties and trying to disrupt that run game. Very effective, but also vulnerable. We'll see how we can take advantage with this Panther offense.
Player had to hustle off the field for Ben Davis, you saw at the top of your screen. 3-man front for the Giants. Play action. Grove has 2 men in his face. Pass was deflected on the way there by Keontae Toomer, who came in on the blitz along with a couple of his teammates, and now Grove slow to get back up behind the play.
That's the last thing you want to do is punt and have to give it right back to a explosive offense that has been almost unstoppable.
Third pass defense of the year for Keontae Toomer. And here's Cole Kreinhagen on for another punt. We saw him back in the first half. Had a punt of about 35 yards. Took a nice north central roll, hoping for the same thing here. Drive took a little more than a minute off the clock, and Kreinhagen just booms the snot out of this one. Horton wants no part of it, so lets it bounce away from him, but that is two beauty punts from the young Cole Kreinhagen.
Completely flipped the field now. You got them going 75 yards. And got to get some pressure. Got to get some pressure. Play with a little more urgency and see if you can force a turnover and get yourself back in this football game.
North Central defense with just 3 takeaways here all season. Let's get a look at Jacob Hudson, the weak side linebacker.
Well, that tells you a lot right there. The fact that they have only forced 3 turnovers.
1st and 10 for Ben Davis from their own 26-yard line. It's their worst starting position here of the second half. We mentioned North Central scoring on consecutive drives. Ben Davis has scored every time, Coach, they've touched the ball tonight. Outside of the last couple plays of the first half, a shovel pass forward to Davion Davis, dancing and making a lot of things work as he's tackled into his own sideline, but about the midway point of that play, a flag was thrown.
They can hurt you in so many ways, as we've seen. And tough to defend, but again, you're in a situation with this program where any signs of progress are things you could build off of, and I think we're seeing some progress, especially right now the way they pursue that football. That says it all. That says a lot. And as long as you can keep that energy, enthusiasm, and spirit, you got the foundation of a good program.
10-yard mark off moves Ben Davis back to the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 20. Still 1st down for the Giants of Ben Davis. The running back is Jazz Coleman. First time we've seen him here in the third. Had 4 first-half carries for 72 yards. And jumping offside will be Styles Burnett. Another tough penalty here for NC defensively.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On one hand, you want them to be eager. On the other hand, you got to be disciplined enough to, out of the corner of your eye, see the football, and that's the only thing that counts to make you move.
Davis and Durrett, the wide receivers at the bottom of your screen for BD. Knet, another tunnel screen to Davis. This is where he's been so dangerous tonight. He's out and running, gets cut down by a couple of different Panthers. Antonio Woodson stop him, but he gets out to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 19 yards, and it'll be 1st down and 10.
I think that's as well as I've seen that play blocked all year. Ben Davis is so good at their perimeter blocking. He gets that ball with a head of steam, and there's just nothing out there because they do such a good job blocking. And we got all look at this one.
Trying to go for it all as Durrett was able to get away from Jaden Wakefield in coverage, but Knet overthrew him. 2nd down and 10 from the 40.
Coverage bust, a little bit of confusion out there. Thankfully, it was overthrown.
We talked about Davion Davis. Coach, he's got 6 catches for 192 yards tonight. And the majority of them have been on those little screen passes, those tunnel screens, where I just kind of throw it 3 yards, then let him do the rest.
They do such a good job out there on the perimeter. And he is a powerful, fast runner. Tough to stop in the open field.
6'2 senior, back-to-back 100-yard receiving games in a row. Jazz Coleman on the carry, and that'll be good enough for the 1st down as he's tackled down inside the North Central 45. Coleman a force to deal with.
Repetitive, but the fact is they can hit you in so many different ways, and that's what they're doing here tonight.
That's a 17-yard run for Coleman. And it's 1st and 10 for BD from the North Central 43 with 5 and change left to go here in the third. Coleman, the motion man from the backfield. Kinnett, screen, and taking his eyes off of that one was Kylan Higgins.
They set up that trips formation. North Central has not really adjusted that well to trips, and BD is going to continue to take advantage of it until they adjust, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Just the 4th incompletion of the night for Kinnett. 3 of them have come here in the second half. Higgins, the motion man. North Central bringing a delayed blitz. Kinnett fakes the handoff, rolls, throws a dart, somehow completes it away, completes it up the middle. An immediate tackle just shy of the North Central 35.
Brought the tight end cross to mirror the quarterback on the boot and picked it up.
Crawford on the catch. Just his 3rd catch of the night. And here's 3rd down and 5. Kinnett with pressure, complete, far sideline. And that'll be a 1st down for Ben Davis. They're inside the red zone. They go right back to Crawford for another 1st down.
Nice quick release by the QB. Very impressive young man. And such speed and dangerous open field ability by this Giant offense. They've scored every possession.
Yes, sir.
That would give you a little bit of a complex, would it not? As the coordinating defensive staff.
1st and 10 for the 15. Price, big hole, stiff arm, but able to stay with the tackle. Jacob Hudson holding Price to a short gain.
Tackle by 25, Jacob Hudson for the Panthers. Gain of 5 yards on the run.
That last catch and run by Cam Crawford was for 21 yards. That puts Kinnett over 300 yards passing tonight. At 3:05 on the dot. Here's 2nd and 5. Price knocking the door of 100 yards rushing. Kinnett stops his feet as a man open right in the middle of the end zone, and guess who? Davion Davis from 10 yards out.
Complete to number 3, Davion Davis, for the 10-yard.
Lost track of fundamentals there. Left the middle of the field wide open on that sprint out. Easy pickings for the 9th grade phenom.
Timeout in the field for an injured player.
A timeout on the field for an injured North Central player. That is the 5th passing touchdown of the night for Kinnett, to go with his rushing touchdown as well. He has 315 yards passing tonight, and Davion Davis has been a super duper star. 7 catches, 5 in the second half for 202 yards. And he's had over 100 yards receiving here in the second half alone, Coach, and we still have not gotten to the 4th quarter yet.
No signs of slowing them down either.
I have a feeling we'll be seeing Mr. Davis playing on Saturdays.
Yes, yes. Not to mention the QB.
Yes.
Coming up, it'll be a couple years yet. You can't go hardship to college yet, can you?
I don't think Coach Russ Mann's going to let him leave.
No, I would want every single second of this guy. But they spread you out, and they're so dangerous. I want to see how anybody, well, the quarterback hasn't played this well, I'm sure. He
Correct.
continues to get better. But I want to see how anybody's going to stop them because of their explosiveness.
I mean, we saw Lawrence North, and I think a couple weeks ago, I think for these guys, you'd have to have just elite level speed on the outside. And I think the other thing, too, is if you can get some pressure on Kinnett, trying to make him dance a little bit, I think that could maybe hurt them a little bit. He's had a lot of time to throw tonight.
He's jumped off sides again. Well, they use him in so many ways. They can sprint him out. They can throw quick with him. You're right, though. I mean, it's all about disrupting the front and getting penetration. But he's had his way and had all the time in the world. They're not really a defensive front set up for speed and quickness up front, but they have been effective this year, bringing some linebackers, bringing some safeties. And as effective as that can be, it can also hurt you.
Offside against NC. We mentioned all the time tonight for Kennett to throw. His coach, Russ Mann, said he has incredible pocket presence, but tip your cap to the offensive line. Elijah Shafiq, Reed Turney, Marshall Howard, Isaiah Minor, and Malachi Falcons, who have done a great job tonight to give Kennett plenty of time to throw. With the penalty, Ben Davis elects to go for 2. Higgins in motion. A lot of movement out there. Kennett keeps it himself. Here comes that pressure from North Central. Throws, and he had Higgins open, and he found him for 2.
Nice job on the play action fake. It's very, very difficult for anybody, let alone a 9th grader, to sprint out to the left and get the body turned around and make that throw. It's been an amazing, amazing performance.
Tonight's game brought to you by Taylor's Bar and Table, the same Taylors you've known and loved for 30 years, but now it's time for the whole family to get the experience. Serving Noblesville, Fishers, Ingalls, and Pendleton, it's your spot for great meals, friendly faces, and a place everyone can enjoy together. Taylor's Bar and Table. And LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the Indy Card Exchange. The Indy Card Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards, Pokemon cards as well. And the Indy Card Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free Indy Card Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. So 3:28 remaining here in the third.
To just illustrate how much they've improved, this team was shut out the first game of the year. Cathedral shut them out 8-0. Now I'm wondering how anybody can stop them.
Yeah, since then, Ben Davis, they've scored at least 31 points the last 2 games. They did suffer a pretty big setback to Carmel 2 weeks ago, but like we heard from Coach Mann, they lost 2 of their H-backs. That completely derailed everything they wanted to do offensively. They're trying to learn on the fly, and Carmel's humming at all cylinders.
Right.
But when Ben Davis is right and they're healthy, whoo, baby, buckle up.
And they're a young team.
Yep.
Well, let's see NC answer this. There's a lot of fight left in this offensive unit.
Squib kick here.
Grab it.
And taken by one of the upbacks and cut down after a short return. But if you're North Central right there, just make sure you grab the ball and keep the possession in your hands.
I think he had some fun rumbling with that football.
He was looking for some open space. He just didn't find any.
Big 4-7. He knows what to do with it.
He's like, you block for me. Oh, he ran into his own man in Harrison, and that's what kind of derailed the fun.
That's got to be on his highlight tape.
Fresh
Keep
set of
pounding
downs.
away, offense. Keep pounding away.
1st and 10 for NC from their own 26-yard line. Here with 3.5 to go in the third.
Safety coming.
Claps. Complete out to the far side. And as NC gets a little tunnel screen action out near the 45-yard line, was Antonio Woodson on the catch.
Good job on getting that ball off. The safety came down hard right in the face of the QB. Chase did a nice job of delivering it. One more move, and that could have gone the distance.
That's a gain of 8 on the second catch of the night for Murphy. Excuse me, for Woodson. Murphy on the tackle. A little 10-on-10 crime there for Ben Davis and North Central. 2nd and 2 for the Panthers. Murphy, the running back, he's been great all night. Sledgehammers his way forward for a first down.
Good description. He didn't need any blocks on that, although they did fit up pretty well up front. But he hits that hard, and I gotta give him a lot of credit the way he's played this year. He has been an anchor, and it's been fun to watch him.
Trying to get his second 100-yard rushing game tonight. He's 14 yards shy of that. He's averaged 8.6 yards per carry on his 10 rushes this evening. Here's number 11. Slow down a little bit, keeps those legs turning, pops out to the 45, and now Murphy in open space into Ben Davis territory. Trying to make one man miss, he does. An electric move from Murphy, one man to beat as Keontae Toomer came back and upended him, but not before Murphy got it down to the BD 19.
Love it, love it. His effort, his spirit, his toughness is really showing through tonight. This is a senior playing his last regular season game, and he is making the most of every single second.
47-yard run for Zion Murphy puts him over the century mark for the second time this season.
Well earned.
He exits to get a breather. Jelon Amison to spell him. Keep your eyes on Waddle at the bottom of your picture. He's been good in open space tonight. Empty set now after the motion man leaves. That's where Grove was looking. He's going to tuck it and run himself. Tight ropes that sideline and steps out of bounds right before Keontae Toomer introduced himself aggressively.
I will say that was a fact.
He had 4 yards on the play, second down and 6.
We mentioned Murphy going over the century mark, has 133 yards rushing here tonight for North Central. Keeps getting that breather on the sidelines. It's 2nd and 6. After the 4-yard scamper from the quarterback, Grove. Screen out to the far side. Amos catches it. He's got to make a couple men miss. Runs right into the arms of a Ben Davis tackler, but keeps pushing that pile forward thanks to the help of right guard Sam Dudkanich. But a flag is down on the play back near the 17. And it looks like it's going to be going against North Central potentially. And here's the call. That's a hold against North Central. So mark it back from the 15. And I'll make it 2nd down and 16 here with 92 seconds remaining in quarter number 3 for the North Central offense. Zion Murphy back on the field in the backfield for North Central to the right of Grove, the starting quarterback. Murphy in motion. Here comes a free blitzer as eluding him as Grove's got a man in the end zone, chucking it there. Woodson trying to fight for it. And was it picked off? Woodson ripped it away, but after both he and the defender in front of him were out of the end zone. And it's a signal for a touchback, and that should be an interception for Ben Davis that they're signaling touchback.
Good job on the escape. He forced that up, though. Took a shot. He saw something that was a little bit too late in developing. Let's go.
So it is an interception. And the touchback, we'll get a look at it here, as Toomer was the free man. And who picked that off for Ben Davis? Woodson was the intended receiver. That looked to be Marcus Mitchell on the INT.
I'd say he had both feet down in the field of play. It certainly was an interception. Chase would like to have that decision back, I'm sure. But, quarterbacks have got to be, you got to be a bit of a risk taker. You hate to see the turnover, but nothing ventured, nothing lost.
And you can see Chase having a conversation with himself on the sideline. For Mitchell, that's his first INT of the year for the junior backup safety. 4th pick thrown by Chase Grove.
That's a tough call when you're coaching a quarterback. Do you take that chance? Many times he's the hero by taking that chance. In this case, you turn the football over and stopped a potential drive. So it's tough. And you got to rely on their instincts to make those decisions.
He did make a heck of an effort to get away from Keontae Toomer, who was coming free the safety's been playing up to the line of scrimmage so much tonight.
Yeah, they've been bringing them down the whole
Yeah.
second half. They've been bringing them down hot, and I think it's been a good adjustment.
72 seconds left to play in our third quarter. North Central first-year head coach Colin Kofer trying to get an explanation here.
Yeah, they're talking about the strip, and that took place out of bounds.
Yeah, in the
Correct?
green, yeah. Well, Woodson right back onto the field. He's at the bottom of your screen. He's tasked with defending the dynamic Davion Davis. Play fake Kennett, wanting a deep shot up the seam, and he leads his man a little bit too far into red in triple coverage. Actually make it Avery Mitchell running the pattern.
BD is having fun, huh?
Just throwing it up there and letting this tell Kennett.
Check it.
He's trying to make up for lost time not playing last week. It's like, well, I didn't get enough. I couldn't play last week, so I got to get my attempts back up and get my rhythm since we have a bye week next week.
Yeah, he's got his arm atrophied, so he's taking advantage of it.
For a guy that's just 5'9" and 155, he has got some zip on that ball coming off.
He does. He's a good athlete. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he develops size-wise.
Mitchell in motion. Here's the screen again.
Blocked well.
To Davis. This one's going to be coming back. Tackle on the play by Miguel Downey. The flag was thrown right when Davis is about to get the full song.
It was one-on-one, and everybody can see out there at the perimeter blocking. He must have grabbed hold of him.
So from the spot of the foul, looks like it'll be second down and a little bit more than 10 for what we're looking at here on the field. Again, Davis tonight, 7 catches, 202 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's been Kennett's favorite target tonight. Crawford with 4 catches for 38 yards through the air for BD. It looks like we have found our guilty party in the right tackle, Malachi Fulkins, trying to get the explanation there from our lead official.
As a result of the penalty, it will be second down. Holding call against the Giants.
So they'll replay second down. It'll be second down and 14 with the line of scrimmage at the 16 of Ben Davis with 57 seconds remaining here in our third quarter. Kennett on the move, directing traffic, throwing a beautiful ball on the run and leads his man in stride up that far sideline. It's Cam Crawford.
I don't have words for that one. What a great play. Scrambling to his left, threw it right in stride. An exceptional catch. Ben Davis is having their greatest night tonight, aren't they?
But sadly,
coming on back.
Laundry on the field again.
Coming on back.
As Davis, the senior wideout. Crawford, just a junior. He's another one of these guys that'll be back in the purple, white, and black for Ben Davis next year.
How about the throw? Who's making that throw? Full sprint to the left, turning the body, chucking it.
That's a guy that hasn't even taken a driver's ed class yet. I mean, he is winging that thing.
50 yards in the air, on the spot. Nice job. Nice job. It's fun to see this league, I'm telling you. There's speed and skill wherever you look.
So you're second and 19 from the 11. Gabe Kennett, just a true freshman quarterback for Ben Davis, putting together his best game of his young varsity career after missing last week with an injury. Over 300 yards passing tonight. Trying to add to it here as he winds up again. Now wants to tuck it and run. Has some green turf in front of him. And he'll slide down right after he crosses that 20-yard line. Forcing the slide was Jared Harrison, but Kennett can do it with his arm and his legs.
It's a lot of field to cover.
of 6 to the 20, or a gain of 11, I should say, to the 22, and that'll bring us to the end of our third quarter. We're off to the fourth next. Ben Davis in front, 56-28, here on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game brought to you by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. Fourth quarter about to begin here from Ben Davis High School. The Giants have led the entire way tonight. They have scored every time they've touched the ball outside of the kickoff return they had that brought our first half to a close. But every time the offense has been out there, they have put it into the end zone for a touchdown. Mentioned Gabe Kinnett tonight's been spectacular. 6 touchdowns in total, 5 passing, 1 rushing. He's thrown for over 300 yards. Davion Davis, 7 catches, 3 touchdowns, 202 yards for the spectacular senior wideout. That's a 3rd down and 8 here for Ben Davis. They have been plagued by some penalties here towards the end of that third quarter. So we get ready to start quarter number 4 here from the west side of Indianapolis, with Jazz Coleman, the running back, in there for BD, with Kinnett at the controls here for the Giants. Haven't seen a lot of third down tonight. Kinnett wanted to throw it back to the far side, being pressured here by Hudson, and he'll have to throw it away as a defense finally able to get to Kinnett here as they start the fourth quarter, and a late flag is thrown from the middle of the field, and this might be a late hit. Colton Ablatar Connor was the last one to get that pressure there on Kinnett after Hudson came through on a blitz. And a personal foul, late hit the call, and another crushing third down penalty against the North Central defense. Gets a fresh set of downs here for Ben Davis. Happened at a key stretch in that first half, and happens here on the first play of the fourth. There's a star of the night, though, right on your screen, Gabe Kinnett. 5'9" freshman gunslinger.
Yeah, he's having a day, and he has expelled a lot of energy on that field. Has been extremely entertaining. Tough, very tough to defend.
17 to 22 passing, again, the 5 touchdowns. He's at over 350 total yards tonight when you factor in his 41 yards on the ground.
Is that the late hit on the quarterback? Is that what the call?
Yep, late hit there. Looked to be Ablatar Connor after Kinnett had gotten it away. So a 15-yard late hit. And Ben Davis 1st and 10 from the 37, and a flag is thrown. And our official was looking right at the North Central sideline when he threw it.
Yeah, that line judge, he hears a lot of things he shouldn't be hearing. Especially in a game like this.
Yeah. They've got the earpieces in to hear themselves, but still a little audio can get through there.
Yeah.
They're not as tight on the ears like ours are, trying to block out all the noise.
Okay, just a warning. We're okay.
North Central head coach Colin Kofor, right after that flag was thrown, coach, he turned around to the sideline and kind of said, hey, this is everybody's warning. No matter who you are, you have to knew this was going to be a important thing to reiterate to the sideline.
Yep, keep the discipline. when the bullets are flying.
First down and 10. Coleman handoff. Head of steam over the right side, trying to bounce it out to the edge. Stretching it out. He turns the Jets on into North Central territory, ridden out of bounds by Jaden Wakefield.
Again, dang it, another late hit.
And we talked about all the speed that Ben Davis has out there, but for a guy that's 205 pounds, when he gets going, that is a buckle your chin strap up moment.
Some frustration again. Now they're coming back this way.
There is a flag back at the 45. So could you get offsetting penalties here potentially?
I'm betting that's the case.
A hold in the late hit. Wipe it off and play 1st and 10 once again. Oh no, both penalties going against North Central. So we'll see which one Ben Davis head coach Russ Mann, that's where they're talking to him on the far sideline about where they're going to mark this off and put this off, or put this new line of scrimmage at here. Couldn't see the signal for the first penalty. The second one was definitely the late hit out of bounds. So the first penalty is declined, and they'll take the result of the play in that late hit for Ben Davis, and this will set them up with excellent field position after the big run from Jazz Coleman. So again, trying to see exactly where Coleman was pushed out at, and then they'll tack on the 15 yards after that. It looks like he got shoved out of bounds at the North Central 37. And now our lead official coming back over to the far sideline again. And now back to the middle. I'd like to remind you that tonight's game brought to you by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. And remember, in a little bit, we'll be naming our big dog of the game, presented by LD Smith Plumbing. That'll be coming up here in a little bit in our fourth quarter. A lot of big performances tonight for both sides, particularly the offense and defensive lines. So let's do that right now as we're still waiting to do all of our math here on the penalty here. LD Smith Plumbing, the big dog of the game, is brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Tonight's big dog is Coach.
Left tackle, 7'7", Josiah Johnson. Played good football all the way through, protected that backside on an offense that has been better than average and very effective. It's just keeping up with this Ben Davis offense has been the issue. But there's been some great plays offensively, and a lot of it is attributed to the big dog, number 77.
He's been opening up holes all night for Zion Murphy and the rest of the running backs. Just like the offensive and defensive linemen, the big dogs of Sewers and Drains do the dirty work in the trenches. At LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, we know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to tonight's big dog for leading the charge. So after all of this, well, I thought we were going to have football coming back, and now we have a timeout on the field. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes. Timeout for North Central. So it's been a 15-yard penalty. The original line of scrimmage, Coleman was shoved out at the North Central 34, but 15 yards, and now they have it inside the red zone at the 19. We'll take a break and come back with hopefully football here from Ben Davis.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first start learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3,
100-yard rushing night for Jazz Coleman. That 28-yard run puts him over the century mark. Avery Price is 4 yards away from 100 yards as well. As 56.9, Ben Davis has done everything offensively they've wanted. They have a 300-yard passer, a 200-yard receiver, and potentially 2 100-yard rushers tonight. For the BD offense, they look to win their second game in a row and head into sectional play in 2 weeks' time with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, they have shown to be very formidable on their offense. They can spread you out and hit you with so many weapons. Pressure the quarterback, flush him out of the pocket, only seems to make him more dangerous. So Cathedral beats Warren.
Okay.
Lawrence North is up on Pike. Lawrence Central is up on Carmel.
Whew, that LC score is surprising with how well Carmel's been playing this year.
Absolutely, but they have players too.
Yep.
Trying to find a Westfield score. Haven't seen that one yet. Westfield and Franklin Central was one I was paying attention to. A lot of good ball around here, that's for sure.
Lawrence Central 4-4 on the year. They get Lawrence North in the semis and sectionals in 2 weeks. Flag is thrown. Surprise, surprise. Incomplete pass from Kinnett. We've only played 24 seconds in this fourth quarter, but with all the flags, it's been a little bit longer than that.
It's been 45 minutes.
Sideline warning this time on Ben Davis.
Sideline warning called against Ben Davis.
So it's still first down and 10 from the North Central 19-yard line. Kinnett getting the play from the sideline. Jazz Coleman, by the way, Speedway transfer. Played 3 years of varsity ball over there for the Spark Plugs. Kinnett dropping straight back, throwing a dart to the end zone. Trying to get it off the ricochet was Davion Davis. Incomplete, broken up nicely by Jared Harrison.
Still down out there. Made a nice effort. Came down hard. Looked like he came down on his arm.
That is not what you want to see if you are Ben Davis, with how spectacular Davion has been tonight. We'll step aside here as the sports medicine staff takes a look at Davion Davis in the end zone.
Jackson takes the handoff, throws the deep ball. He's got a man. Catch made. Rolling, throwing, has a man. First down, the grab by Cyrus. Billingsley keeps. Billingsley spins away from the tackle. Still going. Touchdown, Snyder.
See Davis at the top of your screen, able to walk off under his own power, but with a noticeable limp. So they're trying to stretch that right leg out a little bit. Play action, Connect. Little reverse here. This is Jeremiah Murphy, who is a North Central transfer. Barrels his way through on the reverse, and he's inside the 10 all the way down to the 4.
First down, Giants.
So Murphy on a 10-yard gallop.
Jaden Wakefield and Miguel Downing on the tackle.
Total yards, you have that by chance? They're after a record tonight, I believe.
I'm doing a quick look here. They're close to 500. The 300-yard passer, close to 200-yard rusher. So I don't have a total number, but it's over 5.
I would have guessed that.
I have to take my shoes off to use my toes to try and count that high.
All right, I like it. Look, comedy.
Gannett, big tackle inside the 5. Nicely done by NC's Jamison Hiddle with a quick tackle there on Durrett.
I saw another flag out there.
I'm surprised.
These guys are going to be, they're going to need the ice bath, these officials.
For the arms.
Yes.
Are we trying to get a flag quota for the end of the regular season? Is that what we're trying to hit here?
I don't know. Maybe there is a prize for that. What in the world could this be? Because it was so far away from the play.
I missed the signal.
Half the distance.
So you move it to the 2. Since it was, I know they're going to put it, yeah, I thought it's going to go against Ben Davis. I'd remind you that LaUna, a proud sponsor of tonight's ball game, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LaUna.
You know, they are so dangerous out in the open field. I would have been tempted to decline that, make them score up close.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Giants.
So unsportsmanlike conduct, the call against Ben Davis. It remains 1st and goal. But this time the line of scrimmage is the North Central 19-yard line. They had it at the 17, but that would only be 13 yards of penalty yardage. Cat shovel pass forward. This is Caleb Scott, the H-back, had a receiving touchdown earlier, and that is a violent run back inside the 10. .6'2", 225 coming right into your living room.
A la locomotive. They are certainly, they're running the whole playbook here. That's a little jet sweep touchdown.
And looking for the end zone, stretching out, and finding pay dirt is Jaleel Durrett on his first rushing touchdown of the year. This one from 8 yards out. So Durrett with 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. The first one, because he fell on the ball in the end zone. This one actually does it the conventional rushing touchdown way.
Yeah, they are emptying out the playbook. Who do they open up with, did you say?
They have Avon on the road. And the winner of that game will get the winner of #1 and defending state champ Brownsburg and the Pike team that you got to see last week.
And they're giving Avon defensive coordinator some nightmares to have to prepare for a lot of different offense.
There's a lot of plays that he's going to have to start watching. He's
Trick
probably
plays
happy.
here.
Yeah, he's
Up
probably
by 40.
He's probably happy that he's getting a week off to watch all this film from tonight
there's gonna
specifically.
be some breaking down going on. That's probably a good strategy.
Throw the kitchen sink at him and try to have him figure out what's going on.
Make him prepare for all that stuff and then come up with all new stuff.
Tonight's game has been presented by the College Prospects of America. The CPOA team knows college recruiting and is available 24/7 to provide solutions that serve you. They are your total advocate. The CPOA team will work tirelessly to provide counsel and assess and seek answers for you and your family. From your first phone call through your college graduation and everything in between, email Joe Polizzi at cpoateam@gmail.com for more information.
You know, it's a great service, and there are so many talented football players that go overlooked, and that's what our service does. But they will expose you because there's so much speed and skill, especially in this area, that they are in demand, but we do much more than football, all sports, male and female.
The world of college athletics exploding. Prime example of that is the girls flag football state championships coming up this weekend. You can see that on the IHSAA Champions Network. Us here at ISC helping put that on, and that's a booming sport that's really taken off at the collegiate level. Already a varsity sport at the NAI level, and some folks at the NCAA level hoping that can become a reality at that level as well, and everything else in between. So go see our friends at College Prospects of America and email our fantastic analyst Joe Polizzi and ask him, well, don't ask him what it's like to work for me. You don't want to hear that. That would just make you sad. But ask him about all the great college recruiting and everything else that he and his company can do for you and your prospective athlete.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to pay their way to college. There's so much scholarship money out there. Take advantage.
Running clock situation here in the fourth. North Central has it 1st and 10 from their own 27. They open up in the sectional semis against the defending 5A state champs, Decatur Central, moved up to 6A this year. They're 6 and 2. The other side of that sectional bracket is Lawrence Central at Lawrence North. Amos in motion, screen pass, and Grove led him a little bit too high on that one.
This pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Jalen Amos. 2nd down.
So another tough second half for the second week in a row for North Central, but I think you have to be happy with the way they punched back a lot against Ben Davis, particularly in the end of that first half and what we saw at the start of the third quarter.
They really did. There was improvement here. You know, you don't see it on the scoreboard as much as you'll see it on the film. There's certainly some a tough defense to tough offense to defend.
Give to Amos. And that ball came free. Will they say he was down? I think so. And carry out to the 36 on 2nd down and 10.
But I would say overall, as a coach, knowing you have some limitations, but the way your team's played, the effort with which they play, some of the highlights you've seen on offense, there's some things to build off of. But you got to get a way to get some pressure on these quarterbacks that can hurt you in the pocket, out of the pocket, and running the ball.
So that's been the one thing I think tonight that they just have not been able to get Kennett uncomfortable. He has been really comfortable back there tonight for BD.
He has had his way. He has had his way. And the evidence is on the scoreboard. He is dangerous.
And North Central takes a timeout with 8:11 remaining here in the fourth. As we mentioned, sectional play for classes single A through 4A start next week. The top two classes in size, 5A and 6A, have the week off, and they will join the fun on Halloween night coming up in 2 weeks for their sectional semifinals. And after that, it is a sprint to get to Thanksgiving weekend and see who will be competing for the state championships down at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yes, sir. Now the fun begins.
It's amazing how fast this season has gone.
Really.
And how great our weather has been during the regular season.
Not one lightning delay.
We're trying to find some wood in our press box to knock on for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be getting into that colder season. But it has been phenomenal. It's been a great year. And it's certainly been fun to watch the ups and downs of this burgeoning North Central program.
I'd like to thank the Paul Logan Foundation for their support of putting every North Central game on the ISC Sports Network this year. It's been, like Coach mentioned, been fun to follow the Panthers and first-year head coach Colin Kofer. So here's a 3rd and 1 for his sophomore quarterback, Chase Grove. Amos, the running back, handoff, 1st down, looking for more, gets stood up. There's a lot of the reserves in now here for Ben Davis, but good enough to move the sticks on 3rd and 1.
First down, North Central.
That moves the ball to the 39-yard line. North Central without two of their top offensive weapons tonight in the Averett brothers, Tank and Demetrius. Trying to get a double move. He's got a man open. That's Jordan Jones, who dives, and he caught it. What a catch by Jordan Jones.
Great effort, a picturesque catch, certainly a sports center. But the safeties came down hard. Good read by the QB, throwing up the fade. Pretty catch.
28 yards on the grab for Jones. That's his longest reception of the year. As NC has it in Ben Davis territory at the Giant 33. Murphy in the backfield. Fake the handoff to him. Little out route. And did the receiver hold on to it? Yes, he did. Antonio Woodson with the grab.
He's giving it to us.
Out of bounds at the 25. That's a pickup of 8.
I do like the job that Josiah has done. Left tackle, 7'7", big fella, moving his feet very well. He's going to be a nice college prospect as a junior.
It's our big dog of the night, presented by LD Smith Plumbing. Pass, little dump out to Stallings, the big tight end who rumbles his way forward into the red zone for a first down at about the 19 or the 18.
87 Brian Stallings on the reception. First man North Central.
Gain of 6 on the Stallings catch.
From Hardin on the tackle. Ball spot at the 19-yard line.
So give him an extra yard to the 18, where it's 1st and 10 for NC. Clock winds with 5.5 left to play. Looking end zone and going up and high pointing it is Jeremiah Gillespie for his first receiving touchdown of the year.
Pitching and catching all the way to the end.
Good looking ball from Grove, and right up and over the defender is the sophomore Gillespie.
Very promising, the number of sophomores that are on the field and getting experience, and certainly things to build off of. Nothing but confidence in the performance of some of these young men.
And the PAT is up and through, as North Central trailing here to Ben Davis. But after that first incompletion on that drive, you saw Grove coach complete the last 4 passes of that drive, including the one there for 6.
Some certainly flashes of greatness for the youth on this team. I would have never guessed these guys were going to score 100 points tonight. Just short thereof.
Well, the night is young.
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of ball.
We're going to have a couple more flags thrown to stretch this thing out and give somebody a chance to hit the combined century mark.
And the coaches, either of them are interested in grinding it out and killing the clock. They're going down with the guns blaring. Total offense in this game has got to be phenomenal.
We said over 500 on the night for Ben Davis. Do a quick look here. And math. I'll keep my shoes on for you, Coach, so don't gross you out.
Please. I have a calculator on my phone I could use if necessary.
We might be knocking on the door of 1,000 because North Central's over 400. So I think if we're not at 1,000, we are darn close. So 98 points and 1,000 yards of total offense. Defense optional tonight on the west side of town.
A lot of fireworks, that's for sure.
Fouls the kick. Get the backups in here for Ben Davis. A nice open field tackle there by the NC coverage unit. So we see.
Sophomore made that tackle, 2-1.
That's Zane Willings, backup free safety. So the question again, we mentioned the two backup quarterbacks that played last week for Ben Davis out hurt. Kenneth Doss with a hamstring, Jake Collins, 9 in black. You've probably seen him on the sideline, but he's been sick all week, was just back at school today. So they send Kenneth out there. It will be the other freshman quarterback, Darius Mitchell, for the final 4 minutes, and it will be Darius Mitchell, number 14. So Kenneth's night is over, and putting together, well, I thought Mitchell was coming out there. Now Ben Davis just missing a quarterback, and Mitchell is
sooner or later he's coming out there,
making his way out here for his first varsity snap of the year. In the fourth different player that's lined up and slung the ball out here for Ben Davis.
He gets on the board with a completion.
Yep. We mentioned last week, Ben Davis down 14 players due to injury, 11 starters, so they have been playing just a whole onslaught of their entire roster for third-year head coach Russ Mann.
7 yards of the play, second down and 3.
Second down and 3, and that pass dropped. The clock continues to wind after surpassing the 30-point lead for Ben Davis. So the Giants will win their last 2 games of the regular season, and they'll take on Avon in 2 weeks in the sectional semis. North Central will drop 4 in a row to round out the regular campaign. They get Decatur Central on the road in 2 weeks' time. And a timeout taken here on the field by Ben Davis with freshman backup quarterback Darius Mitchell out there for the Giants. But his predecessor, the starter Gabe Kennett, coach, was phenomenal tonight. Threw for 315 yards, had 6 total touchdowns, 5 through the air. And for a young man that was a middle schooler just a year ago, he played well beyond his years tonight.
Yeah, that sure is amazing, because who knew of him even before this game?
Yep.
But he has certainly made a name for himself. And definitely he well earned, because he has got talent. He's shown a quick release. He's shown a strong arm. He's got instincts to evade the rush, and certainly athletic enough that he's a good one to work with for the coming years.
Showed some promise predominantly with his legs against Lawrence North a couple of weeks ago on the road, as they'll end one of the top 10 teams in Class 6A. Final 2 and change here for the regular season finale, as Ben Davis will pick up their 3rd win of the year. Mitchell design run, and he is sandwiched down from behind, but that'll be enough for the first down. Emmanuel Oheni Dwumfor on the tackle there for NC.
Another big middle guard, nose tackle type guy. Speed is not a problem at North Central, but they do need to develop some big kids to be a factor in this conference. That's going to be a big part of the challenge for Coach Kofer.
You can see it tonight here with even the backups for Ben Davis. As there's a big carry out near midfield for the Giants. As Lamari Williams on the carry there for BD. As they get the first down carry into NC territory at the 48.
Ball spotted the Panthers, 48-yard line.
$14-yard run right there. As we're under a minute to go here in the 4th. These 2 teams combined for 98 total points tonight. Mitchell on the run, complete to Isaiah Rain, his first reception of the campaign. And that'll be close to the first down marker. That'll be good enough for the first down.
First down, Giants.
But close to 1,000 yards of total offense, 98 points. That is a up and down affair for the last game of the regular season.
Statistician's dream. No.
Last couple of snaps here for Ben Davis. There's a big-time run up the middle. And it's spinning away and unable to tackle the third-string running back, and into the end zone for 6 is a touchdown here for BD. And that'll be how this one ends tonight with the clock running out.
No flags.
No flags for the first time here, as that's Ramari Williams on the rushing touchdown. And he ran into just about everybody like a pinball. And then right there says the end zone is where I'm headed.
One carry, he makes the highlight tape. Beautiful run. Did they get stopped all night?
The only time that they got stopped was, no, I guess technically not, because the one time they didn't score when they had the ball was the kickoff at the end of the first half, where Horton almost ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They scored every time they touched the ball.
Every possession they scored. No punts.
Nope.
Scored every possession. Touchdowns.
Off night for Kylan Higgins, who's the starting wide receiver, but also the punter. Tonight's game has been presented by LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Labor's District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods and around North Central and throughout Washington Township. Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game, stay for the good times. And Wabash College. Schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Also thanks to our great crew tonight, Director Vince Morellis, replay Buzz Alarkin, graphics with Matt Armstrong, and our camera operators tonight, Jason Porter, Juan Ian, and David Jones. For our great analyst, Joe Polizzi, my name is Rick Johnson. It's off to the playoffs for both North Central and Ben Davis, and tonight BD with an emphatic 69-35 win. Bye week for both these teams, and they start sectional play in the semis coming up on Halloween night. For everyone here on our crew, thanks for making us part of your Friday night. This has been a presentation of Indiana High School football on the ISC Sports Network.